You streaming now? We should be. Let's see why we're not. All right. Yeah, it should be working. There we go. Okay. Oh, but turn that on silent. Let's see. All right. My apologies. I'm just trying to get everything all set up. Greetings, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of release week for SolForge Fusion Digital Client. This is launch day. I am Jurch. I'm head of organized play at Stoneblade Entertainment, and I'm going to be your tour guide today through playing through the digital client. And I'm really excited to be hosting a whole bunch of streams through the course of the week. If you don't catch me on this one, I'm going to be streaming in the evenings, at least local time, and that'll be through the course of the entire week. And just really excited to reach out to a bunch of people. Today, we are going to be just in the game room and playing against any opponents that happen to find their way there. I love what they've done with the home page, the kind of the screen that opens up when you start. Later in the week, we are probably going to go over like the news section. I'm not going to bore you with my collection, but cosmetics, we're going to show that. And settings. And then down here, the Discord symbol, that's where you can get connected to the Discord. So you can get announcements on local events that are happening in real life or digital online events that are happening in your time zones. First of all, this is the best place to get connected with the community. It's a great community, and it's going to just be exploding as this game is adopted by the masses. So, like I said, for this is great for connecting with people to exchange Steam friend codes, so then you can become friends and challenge each other. So then you can just find local players if you wanted to be playing in real life. Because again, SolForge Fusion is a hybrid deck game, which means that the physical cards you have, you can scan them and use them in your online collection, and the online cards that you get are the exact same as you'd have in the physical game. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump up here to this player XP because we have this awesome little XP ladder that as you play this game, typically against either other human beings or if you're running the campaign mode, which we'll be showing off this week as well, you will be able to gain XP and then start to claim some awesome prizes. So the other day, as you can tell, I have over 1 million XP. I've been playing this game for a little bit. With these benchmarks here at 2,500, then you get an Utera deck that is 100% unique to you. It is equally playable to any deck that you'd buy online or physically in the store. I already claimed that one, and I ran a couple of matches with it last night on the stream. I might pull out this half deck as well as this Tempest that I unlocked for hitting 10,000 XP. So it's a bit of a jump, but it's, it's a carrot that's encouraging you to be playing this game more. Today, I'm going to be unlocking this Nekrium one because I've run through what this track is allowing, and as the week goes along, I'm going to unlock the Alloyin deck and then make some fused decks with that. Then there's a random deck at let's see, 1, 2, 3 at 150,000. Another random deck at 300,000, and then the prismatic trail when you're dragging your cards into play. That's at 500,000. So I'm going to unlock that by the end of the week. I could claim them all right now, but where's the fun in that? CML 100. Wait, that username is you. I think I played a couple of games against you yesterday or the day before. Oh, awesome! Yeah, my in-game username is Cold Stare. That is an old Legend of Zelda Link to the Past boss, and it was super cool. I used to play that video game with my siblings and with my grandpa, and that is very special memories for me. So I kind of like that username. So, oh, and then I think I'm going to have to do this a few times, but if you want to friend me on Steam, my Steam friend code is 103-628-342. I'm going to type that in the chat, and I'll have to do it a couple of times. I get that. But I want anybody who's looking for a game, especially if you're a new player, to reach out to me and play against me because I love playing against new players. I love ushering people in. I'm a former high school math teacher, so I am all about the learning experience and helping people grow. And every time I've tried to play competitive in this game, I'm typically an easy win for people. Fun matches, but an easy win for people. So if you're looking to grow and get some wins under your belt, I'm the guy to go to. Skuro, will XP gained in the demo carry over to the game? I I don't know about the demo. Because I was from the Kickstarter. I was one of the backers for the closed beta. So I was able to be playing closed beta for a few months before I started this job at Stoneblade, and I kind of got grandfathered in. I don't know if the demo's XP carries over. I will be able to find that out in between this round of streaming. I'm streaming for 4 hours today, and then I come back at 7 o'clock Central Time tonight, and I'll stream from 7 to 9 just like I did last night. Which actually is a great thing to bring up, is what the streaming schedule looks like. I will be streaming today from 11 a.m. local time till 3 p.m. local time, and then 7 to 9 tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm streaming from 11 to 3 also. And Lucas LeWinter is doing the regular Stoneblade stream from 6 to 7 Central Time. And then I'll come back on Thursday doing 7 to 9 p.m. and Friday 11 to 3. But I've got to take a break to do a staff meeting, and then 7 to 9 on Friday. Then on Saturday, we actually have an online tournament, a digital client tournament. I will be posting the link if I can get all my devices to be working. But if you go to the SolForge Fusion website and you look up the digital client sealed tournament for Saturday, April 20th, that is open to anybody in the world. All you got to do is have access to the digital client. And this is a really cool event that we're trying out because we know that some players have a lot of decks in their collection. Some players may just have the 4 starter decks. And then there's going to be a whole range of people in between. So what we're doing is we're making this a sealed event. For everybody who signs up on SolForgeFusion.com on that event, it's totally free. Then on that Saturday morning, you will be getting 4 unique half decks. I'll be giving you the digital code to those 4 unique half decks, and those are the decks that you can build your Fuse deck from to play in the event. All you need to do is go 3-2 or better in the 5 rounds of Swiss, and you win your decks. All you got to do is go above 500. If we are getting enough people, then I might be able to do some door prizes of other half decks, kind of giving out to people to help bolster some new collections, or to reward the loyal people who've been with this game when it was just a physical game. Or if you remember the original SolForge, that it's always great to connect with those people as well. So this Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time, that's when the event's going to start. So you can register for free, SolForgeFusion.com. When you're checking in on that Saturday, you'll have to reach out to me on Discord. I'm Jurch, or I think the name is technically still Jurch, but I'll go over all of this plenty of times through the course of the week. And then on Saturday especially, you reach out to me and I will give you the 4 deck codes that you can redeem, and then you'll have access to them on Saturday for the event. If you happen to go 3 and 2 or better, then you get to keep those decks that you used. If you do worse than that, then those decks probably weren't worth keeping anyways. So then you just get to go about your day, and those decks get kind of reclaimed back into the Forge and used to continue to power the planet of Solus. CML 100 missed the physical game, but was definitely around for the original online game. Yeah, well, the physical game's still going on, so you can jump in anytime you want. I've got physical product right here. Yeah, and as the week goes along, we can talk about the physical scene a little bit too. We've got something called Fuse Fest that is previewing the Set 3 release that's happening in St. Paul, Minnesota next Saturday. So Saturday the 27th and 28th. I could talk about that as the day goes on because we've got a few hours. But without further ado, let's do the part that I like best. Let's claim a deck and see what it's like. The Demons of Calamity Tendrils. Oh, that deck name is a winner. So let's see what's in this deck. We've got Cersei with Life Drain. Deal 4 damage to a creature. You gain 4 health. That one's good to have in a match. It goes with kind of soft removal. It also is able to gain you some health with procs with a lot of different things. Soul Siphon, destroying one of your creatures to give a creature +8/+8. And then Death Touch, I like that hard removal. Just if somebody's got a level 3 creature, this is towards the end of the game, we'll be able to just take it out. The Abyssal Amoeba. I like Abyssal as long as the creature is strong enough, so I might have to try to figure out a way to bypass that level 1 in order to get to the level 2, because that's where it gets really strong and can stick around. Arrogant Demon. Commanding Geist, so that deployability is buffing up zombies. I haven't seen a zombie yet, but we're going to need a few for this deck to work. Gloom Reaper Hag, okay, that one's always annoying. Hematophagic Shambler, excellent. You may destroy another one of your creatures to gain health, and it's got that shambling of when one of your creatures is destroyed, deal damage to the enemy player, you gain health, so that works really well with the Commanding Geist, because that's going to buff up zombies, and it's going to work with the Soul Siphon of destroying a creature to buff something up a lot. I like that. Ossuary Mech, that can come into play really nicely. And Venerable Creeper. Creepers are always annoying, especially if you've played the campaign with Recluse of the Spider. And if you haven't, you definitely need to check it out. It is so worth it. All right, my spells, I've got Dreadbolt, like the hard removal. Infernal Ritual, so that's going to be getting zombies out and destroying some of my creatures. I like that. And finishing out with Soul Reap, which is a great spell for gaining health and dealing damage to an opposing creature and the opposing player if you've got a beast. I think I've got 2. Yeah, the Creeper is a beast. The Demon is a beast. Yes, we've got 2. So the things that I'll probably want to pair this with, I like the multiple uses for the Soul Reap, so something with beasts, potentially. And then if I can be getting other creatures out, then this Infernal Ritual can come into play, or then we've got stuff for the Shambler to work its magic with. So what I'm going to do, the Demons of Calamity Tendrils, I am going to go into my collection now. And it takes a little while for mine to load up because I've got a bit of a collection. This is the deck that I fused yesterday, XP Grind 1, because I was grinding a lot of experience points. But now I'm going to go into this deck, and I am going to favorite it up here, so then I know that all 3 of my favorite decks are the ones that I have claimed through this. So can I can't sort like that, but I can go like this and just sort it by favorites right here. So these are the 3 that I have claimed through the XP ladder, and I'm going to see what's going to be a good pair for this Nekrium deck, and then that's what I'm going to fuse together and then play a couple of matches with against people, try a different fuse, and see how we go. This is one that I opened yesterday. The Utera one. Barkskin, Growth Aura, and Dark Forge Drain at level 4. It's got Combat Raptor. Ferocious Mantis is really good because it has that deployability. This turn, this gets activate. Use your Forgeborn's ability. So the level 1 Mantis, let's use the level 2 Forgeborn ability. Level 2 Mantis, level 3 Forgeborn ability, and so on. Glowhive Siren is with some life gain. Leyline Vermin turns off an opposing creature. The Utera Charger, when I was playing against More Than Most last night on the stream, this one cleared up a couple of lanes. So that's a really good one. And then we've got Feral Instinct, which was kind of a game winner for me. Might of the Herd works with dinosaurs and toxic spores. So let's see, I didn't do a beast count. 1, 2, 3 beasts. That's actually a pretty good start. I don't know if I've got a way to be adding other creatures to the field with this. Well, I guess Feral Instinct kind of. So this may be a pretty good option with that Nekrium one, but let's see. I don't remember the Tempest one too well. So we've got Sunder with Ice Armor, Gathering Storm, and Summon the Swarm. So that's really good for spell slinging. I like that. Oh, that's right. This was super aggressive. So we've got Arrogant Colossus, which can be big. We have the Flamebreak Invoker, which is aggressive, and I can activate it to give my other creatures of the same level or lower aggressive. That could be a nice kind of turnaround. Rhymehorn Charger is aggressive. Oh, Carl Test is chiming in. Hi, Jurch. Congrats on the stream and the early access release today. Great to have you streaming regularly this week. Yeah, Carl, it's great to see you on here too. I'm hoping that a lot of people are going to chime in from the community, and if people are playing, you can either shoot me a friend. You can shoot a match request out to a friend, or I know that CML 100 already just sent me a friend request, and I accepted that. So once I get to playing matches today, I will be able to take anybody on who challenges me, or I'll just go in the queue and see how that works out. But I got to pair up with this Nekrium deck. So Stampeding Mongosaur is going to be dealing damage to both sides. Steadfast Adept. The Stout Glider worked really well when I was able to give it breakthrough with my Utera half. And then Disintegrate, Firestorm, and Fit of Rage. Super damagey. This is a quintessential Tempest deck. However, I don't think this is going to pair well with my Nekrium. So I am going to fuse a deck with these two, which if you're a veteran of SolForge Fusion, you know that there's a lot of synergies between Nekrium and Utera. And just with these 3 decks that I have here, I think that those two are probably going to be my best avenue to finding some synergies so far. And then I already have the Utera and Tempest fused together, so I can bounce between that as well. Scuba Toad. Jurch, did you ever say if digital decks can be transferred to other accounts? Scuba Toad, that is an excellent question. There is a lot more programming that's going to go into that solution. I know that that is something that is in the works. I do not have the understanding of programming or the transfer of data like that to be able to give an educated response. But I do know that that is in the works, is being able to transfer the digital deck to another human being or to another account. Yes, that is something that's on the horizon, but every time they explain it to me, I understand the first 10%, and then I kind of get lost in all of the just very intelligent people that are solving these problems. So at the moment, no, but in the as of this second, I don't think that you can be exchanging digital decks, but it is part of the plan. Okay, so let's fuse this. Demons of Calamity Tendrils and the Grass Multiplying. All right. That one's showing up first, I think either because it's my newest deck or because I've got the favorite. Either way, I like that. And yeah, glad that you show up again, Scuba Toad. Also, For anybody who's in the chat now, once you get to those XP ladders and you end up claiming your own digital decks, I want people to let me know if they get anything really spicy, because I'm always a fan of people showing off the fun things that they get, especially when it's through this kind of XP grind. So it's everything's in play. XP grind 2. And then we get to fuse this deck. Not sure what counts as... I'd say anything that looks exciting to you, because everybody has their own definition of what a good deck is going to be. Sure, if you've got really crazy like a Betrayer, I don't know if that's built into the code for these decks. I assume everything's on the table. But if there's anything that sticks out to you as particularly fun. So at this page for the matchmaking, if you click on play, you get right here, but I took a very roundabout way to get there. Online battle, friend battle, solo battle, campaign, or tutorial. Tutorial is an excellent place for a lot of people to start. Obviously, if you're new to this game, the tutorial is very finely tuned that you get a full understanding of how this game works, and you are equipped to be able to play against another human being, play against the computer, whatever. I don't need to do that because I've got over 1 million XP. I've run the tutorial more than a handful of times. Right above that is tournaments. We're working on that one. We're working on that one. That takes a lot of, again, higher level coding and thinking that is beyond my little capabilities. But I'm really excited for the things that we're planning in terms of tournaments contained within the digital client, because that just opens up such a realm of possibility and engagement with community members from all over the world, different types of formats and stuff like that. I would argue you can transfer because unlinking, relinking is a feature, but I guess it's how picky you want to be about it. So that is a good point that you can do that. Let's see if I can read. IGP? Oh, struggled through that. So you can do that with the physical games, because if I may, when you open up the physical game, you get your deck list on the back of your Forgeborn. And with that, you get a QR code that you scan in to claim ownership of the deck. Then you have it digitally and physically. If you ever wanted to trade that physical deck to somebody, then you would go to your online account, you'd unclaim it, and then you could give it to another person or trade it or sell, whatever, and then they could scan that QR code and claim it as their own. Now, because digital-only decks like the 3 that I have going on here, they don't have technically a physical version as of the exact second that I'm using it. In order to, well, the process of trying to unclaim and then move the digital property, that involves more coding and technology than I understand. Yeah, so just to kind of clarify that. Okay. So I talked about tutorial, tournaments, campaign mode. This is something that you'll see Lucas run on Wednesday, most likely. It's super fun. I'm going to be streaming through the course of this week for about 25 hours, so I'll get there at some point. I'll get around to the campaign. Solo battle, you can pick some of your decks to go against and then have kind of the CPU run one of them, you run the other, and just kind of spar with yourself. Friend battle, I've got a growing list of friends, and there's always room for more. But I'm going to go online battle and just jump into the queue and see who is waiting so I can find a worthy opponent. This stream is brought to you by coffee, keeping me focused and engaged. Will there be more streams at this time, or will the rest be going back to US time? Well, technically that... So I'm streaming at it in this time block this week, or most of this week, because I wanted to catch people from much different time zones. Oh, hey, look at there. But the times that I'm able to stream kind of have to fit into my work schedule. But there are definitely other people who could be streaming. That there's a lot of other content creators out here that play this game, Or I mean, anybody can be streaming too. Okay, let's see. Energy Surge is super powerful. Let's see what I've got going on. Okay, so this the Nekrium liked beasts, and it liked. Ooh, let's go like this. So I'm gonna put CML into a bad position already. They either have to destroy their minion or they take 5 damage right off the bat. And we'll see what they decide. So I think they said that they muted for the sake of competitive balance, but even not, I'm not here to be playing competitively. This is here just to be fun. Oh, and then Gloom Reaper Hag, which is going to chase me down and still survive. So I was hoping to be able to trade there, or 7 health is really strong for level 1 creatures, so then I'd be able to live through it. But now my options have been limited down to, well, let's see, Feral Instinct. That wouldn't trigger anyways because that's not going to do damage to the opponent. So I just have to Dreadbolt and level that hard removal up and then kind of take my medicine there. But I've got a beast in play and I've got the only creature on the board. So I feel like I'm in a pretty good shape to start. Go on to combat. No damage because my creature was in the back. And now let's see. Well, I've got a lot of fun options. But I think right now I'm going to bring out my Shambler. I may destroy another one of my creatures to gain health. I don't want to do that right now because I kind of like the board state that I'm building. I like the opportunity that I'll be having to put my opponent in a bad position to now... Oh, that's the worst. Because that Justicar, if that would have maintained its 5 health, I could have had my Utera Charger run into it and trade. It's not going to work now, but I think if I do Toxic Spores to give it my Shambler plus 3 health and then give the opposing creature minus 3 health, I can at least survive for another round there. So we'll see what's going on that. Spite Maiden, nice. Circe's Call, one of my favorite spells. And then you get extra value out of that because I played a spell as well. And then on to combat. So no damage is being exchanged, but all those zombies. All right. I think this is the combo I'm going to lean into, or I might do this one, then that one. The digital-only deck to hybrid deck is an interesting concept. Yeah, it's the way that they're able to run the technology is that the URL or each deck has a code so that you're able to like all these cards live in that URL code or whatever. So you add it to a QR code and then you can be owning something physically and digitally. I got to make sure my timer doesn't run down. Okay, so that, but then those would just go to 4. But I really like what Infernal Ritual looks like at level 2 because then I get to play 2 zombie brutes. But then commanding also gives my zombies +3/+3 instead of 1. So I think I have to go this one as my second play. But I don't like that. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go this. And then we're going to hope that my opponent doesn't end up playing 2 minions to get that Steel Eye Researcher buffed up too much. Oh, and that's a tutorial pop-up because I haven't seen a creature with armor yet. Cutthroat. Oh, no! All right. And then now to me. So ferocious, it gets 3 armor, so then it would still die there and not do me any good. But if I go over here, also pro tip, make sure you turn the auto resolve triggers setting off. I'll show you after this match how to do that, because I mean in this instance it doesn't matter a whole lot, but in other situations it might matter a great deal, because then I'm going to use my Mantis to use my level 2 Forgeborn ability, deal 4 damage to a creature. I gain 4 health, so I'll deal 4 damage there. Gain 4 health to keep my little Shambler alive. And then 1 trigger, because one of my creatures died. And now we start the second deck cycle. Ooh, I got a lot of spicy toys here. What is my level 3? Okay, so I think I want to go this one into that one. I think. Because we've got a lot of fun options here. So I'm going to do this. I'm not going to destroy another one of my creatures because I don't quite have the board state I'm looking for. But because I know how crazy Steel Eye Researcher can get, I'm just going to take that level 1 off the board and gain 4 health. Because I really don't want that to come back to haunt me. Yep, because Steel Rosetta's Tinker, play 2 Gizmo minions. Right away, that's going to boost up that. Right away, boost up that Steel Eye Researcher to something I wouldn't be able to deal with. Ugh. Ugh. Well, I took care of it. And Dreadbolt to destroy a level 1 creature. That's really important at this point. Yeah, and getting rid of that Shambler, I still get, because that Shambler saw itself die, and then the level 2 friend just saw that one die as well. And we'll see if they're going to use their Forgeborn ability, if they've got something free. Nope. So pass back to me. I'll go the next level of Ferocious Mantis. And I'm going to activate that to destroy one of my creatures to give one of my creatures +8/+8. So I'm going to destroy that Mantis to make my Shambler really big. I don't mind at this point if my opponent is going to keep blocking this. I'm not worried about that Shambler's attack. I just want it to stick around. So hopefully my opponent doesn't have a whole lot of hard removal to just wipe that creature off the board that I'm putting so many resources into. And oh, man, that Steel Eye Researcher is going to get big because the level 2 now is getting +3/+3 for each one. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. Oh no, that's a good counterpunch. That is a really good counterpunch because now I'm going to have to keep blocking that Steel Eye Researcher, which I'm not going to mind, but it's going to cost me a lot of resources in order to make sure that that's not going to get big enough that it'll be able to take me out in one fell swoop. I know I've got a huge health lead, but I've played this game enough to know that no lead is safe. And I like right now the Commanding Geist. That one's big enough where that can stick around if I put it in not the Steel Eye Researcher lane. And Commanding is going to get this buffed up 3/3. I also do like the Venerable Creeper. And I think that's what I'm going to do first is the Creeper to, again, put my opponent in a bad position where they have to make a poor decision of either taking 6 damage or destroying one of their creatures. And poor decision, I mean, I don't assume that my opponent's going to make the wrong choice, because a lot of times there isn't a wrong choice. So they decided to take out that mindless zombie minion, which that's what I would have done. Because 3 damage at this point, 3 damage that would be coming into me is less than the 6 damage that they have to take otherwise. That's just math like that. And then Frankenbaum, a buffed up Frankenbaum. Dr. Frankenbaum is one of my favorite characters in this game. I love the art of getting to work sewing and just have this mad look on his face that he is just very excited. And then there's also from set 2 there is the Bride of Frankenbaum, which is Dr. Frankenbaum's wife, and she also has fun abilities in this game. Let's see. I think I'm going to. I'll put the Commanding Geist there to buff up my other zombie and just kind of keep that treading water a little bit. Oh, I didn't see that that fiend was necrotic. So then that this is also important why you don't want to auto resolve the triggers, because now this mindless zombie minion could get +2/+2, but I think there are probably other better uses for it. That steel eye, yep, that steel eye is going to be sticking around, and it gets buffed up because a minion was played. Oh, this deck has a lot of interesting synergy going on. I like it. Okay, so I don't have a beast. So then Soul Reap isn't going to do me any good. This one at level 1 isn't so hot. So let's just see where we're at. I think I have to do this one right off the bat just to make sure that. No, that one should take a little while. Let's see what my opponent is going to do if I go like this. Infernal Ritual. And then I'll put a zombie here. And I will put a. Yeah, I'll put a zombie in front of Frankenbaum. Let's see what you can do with those parts there. Alright. And I like Infernal Rituals level 2 because instead of mindless zombie minions, you get brutes. And those are real nice. Oh, Lyria's. At this point, Lyria's a pretty good move to get an extra creature on the board to try to fill up those lanes. And it looks like it was the Walker, hibernating Walker, to give something -2/-2. Probably going to go on that mindless in order to keep that alive against Frankenbaum. And at this point, yeah, those dead body parts, I am totally cool with that getting destroyed. But now I have to unleash my Dreadbolt and get rid of that huge Steel Eye Researcher. That is why the more that you play SolForge Fusion, you'll find the importance of hard removal. So having something like that it just instantly takes off a creature, very, very important. Now my opponent's able to kind of come back and counterpunch with 3 zombie brutes from Cersei's Call, and they're going to win a bunch of trades there, which I'm okay with at this point, because when my creatures are dying, I get to shamble. So as long as I'm able to continue to put bodies out, I don't mind losing those trades. But if I ever get to a point where my opponent is having more damage kind of coming at me than I can block, and there's too many leaks in this boat, then I start to get into trouble. But right now I'm still doing okay. All right, this segment is brought to you by Trail Mix. We got Trail Mix in here and not coffee. Deck cycle 3. Oh, Dreadbolt coming right back. Brilliant. Hmm. Well, this is a very healthy board that my opponent has come up with. A healthy board that I can't really do a whole lot with. So I am going to put a Gloom Reaper Hag here. The idea is that worst case scenario is I'll trade out in that lane and still taking a bunch of damage. I might think about doing Infernal Ritual to get a couple of creatures on the board. And now I have to. So get rid of that. And I get 2 brutes. Do I want to try to keep them alive and take 22 damage? I think so. I'm going to test a theory. And I'm going to try to keep creatures alive until I can get my Shambler or something like that. So health is a resource, and I've built up a buffer enough where going down to 48 is not totally destructive. I destroy an enemy creature. So with these two, I've got the option to just be destroying 2 enemy creatures. And I think I'm okay with that. So we're going to go this here. And I'm going to take a risk and not activate that Forgeborn ability right now on the off chance that my opponent is able to... Oh, shoot! I forgot that Forgeborn ability. Oh, total waste. Total waste for me. Oh, Jurch, you old fool. Hmm. Okay. Now I'm in a weird spot. Because I need to keep my board state from getting out of hand. Hmm. Let's go that. I'm not a fan of it. Actually, let's get a little aggressive here. Destroy one of my creatures, because they're probably going to replace that there. Or lose value on it. So then give that +8/+8. So I'm going to see if I can recover and put a little pressure. Billy Bad Aim, your boat has a lot of leaks. Yeah, yeah, it's merely a flesh wound. Health is a resource. I'm just trying to stay above 0. And the next Frankenbaum, okay. So I'll take 12, they take 10. They get to put a brute out. This is part of why I wanted to try to save those zombie brutes. Is that commanding Geist now is giving all of my zombies +6/+6. Hmm. Well. Hmm. Where do I want to put this? I don't want to get too cute. Yeah. So force them to either lose half their life or destroy one of their creatures. And that Techno Hulk and Death is going to give something 3 extra health. Yeah. Give it to your big bopper right there. So I could go Soul Reap, but it wouldn't take anything off the board. I would still gain 6 health and my opponent would lose 3. But if I literally put the Commanding Giant or Geist out, I'm netting more health on that. So I'll do that. And only taking 7 down to 29. CML has made a really good comeback on this. Hmm. And I just get to destroy a creature. I get to do that a few times. So I've got these 3 cards that I'm really looking at here. I think I have to go this route, though. Because I get 3 zombie brutes now. And they all get plus attack and aggressive. Aggressive doesn't matter because I'm on Forge. But let's see what I can do with these. I'll go there because I've got a couple options and I want to see what my opponent's going to do. Spaceship Driver, good afternoon, Mr. Jurch. Hey, Neil, good to see you again. Play Mega Gizmo Mini, upgrade a card in your hand twice. Oh, you can bring any hammer out at that point. Hmm. +3 and breakthrough. Or I just get to wipe 2 creatures off. Hmm. Uh, because that's going to be a bigger threat down the road, but I will be able to deal with it. No, I think I need to Dreadbolt there. That's not what I wanted to do, but I think it's the right play. Now, Spaceship Driver, if we are not friends on Steam, what's your problem? I don't remember if we are, but you should definitely send me a friend. Ah, yep, waiting for that walker. Ooh, good counter. Good counter. That Cersei's Call is such a good card. Okay. Less than 10 minutes to early access launch on Steam. Oh, so noon central, I guess, is when it releases. Hmm. Now none of these trades I'm going to be able to win or even chase you down. So let's go like this. I haven't been paying enough attention, so we're going to see if my strategy is going to line up and going to work. Put that away for now. Oh, that poor hag. That poor hag. But now over to me. So I can do the Soothing Druid, where I get to play a Wisp minion, and I gain a little bit of health. So we're tied. And all my creatures are going to die. But that hag, Gloomweeper hag, allows me to just siphon off just enough health to get a lead going into the last turn. Hmm. I wonder if I go like this, we're just going to see. We're just going to see if this math works out. I haven't been paying close enough attention to think what they're going to have. So something that's not going to be doing any damage. I like that they have that notification to use your Forgeborn. So I think because I would gain 8 and they would lose 3. 24 to 7, so I've got 17 advantage there. So if I go like this, and just make sure that I destroy it to gain the health, the Shambler triggers. And then I use my Forgeborn ability to destroy that enemy creature. And we're going to see what my opponent can do, because right now I've got a 5-point lead, because this 12 coming in would put me down to 12, and they're at 7 right now. So we will see what they can do. If they can get rid of my Shambler, it would be a 6-point swing. They'd be down to 4. I'd be at 27. But they would have 24 showing, so that would be I would be at 3 and they would be at 4. So that would be incredible. Well, if they've got an aggressive creature that I haven't been paying attention to, then it's all over right now anyways. Buffing that up and being able to play a spell for free. Okay, emptying their hand. Mega Gizmo Minion. And then upgrading a card in your hand and playing it for free. Okay. But can they actually push anything through? Or did I just barely... I did. I just barely boxed you in. Because I'm there. And because neither one of us was reduced to 0. That Shambler triggers and... Oh, just barely... What a game to start out with. That was really good. That was really well played. And I like the damage dealt. I did 220 damage total. Creatures played, enemies destroyed. Yeah, good game. Good game indeed. Spaceship Driver sent me that Steam friend code, so let's pop in that. And it looks like in 2 minutes we are going live, where the game is being released on Steam. So it will be really cool to see all of the other new people that are going to be jumping in. Got to get back to that window there. All right. Wait to see who else wants to take on XP Grind 2. And the 12 o'clock hour is going to be sponsored by water. 64 ounces of it. I think that's 64. All right. And we can definitely see if there's anybody else waiting in the queue. This is where I want to be today, is playing with new people or people who are just adopting the game as we get rolling. If there are any Steam friends out there that want to challenge me, obviously I'll accept a challenge. But I do also want to make an opportunity to see whoever's in the queue waiting. One of the features that they added in is that if you are waiting, you could click on the campaign and then just be running through the campaign mode. But it looks like I got a match with Onk from Onk Gaming. And I am going first. So let's put out this Soothing Druid to gain a little bit of health, and more importantly, gain that all-important Wisp minion. Because what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to lean into that Infernal Ritual and sacrifice one of these two to get a couple of mindless zombie minions out, but more importantly, upgrade that. Oh, gross. That's what we're going against? Okay. Very interesting. So I'm going to have to watch out for the Tinker all match, because that has that deployability. Destroy up to one enemy minion. But how about two enemy minions? What do you think of that? And I just need to keep them alive long enough to get to... Oh, that is a shiny, shiny, shiny Voltaic Magus. Magus? I'm not sure. And then a Mad Lewinter. So this, let's see. Shift D, let's see what we're working with here. So this is a set 3 and a set 2 deck that are paired together. Set 3, The Last Winter, is coming out in the very near future. Like I said at the top of the stream, we have a Set 3 pre-release event happening in person in St. Paul, Minnesota. And if you're interested, it's called Fuse Fest 2. If you look on the SolForge Fusion website, we have a news article that is kind of previewing the event, as well as information to be able to sign up for it and then participate. And there's still room, but we are very excited to be having people show up for this. I'm hosting. We are bringing in some of the other developers from the Stoneblade team to be coaches for this event, but not just sit on the sideline coaches. They'll be playing in the event as well, so that's going to be really fun. And we'll be previewing the next set. We're going to have a storyline event. We're going to be doing a constructed tournament, a sealed tournament. All of it is going to be with the new set, the set 3 that is in pre-release, so you can't even find it in the wild yet. Let's see. I think I want to get rid of that minion while I can. Okay. So, I like where this is at. Mad Lewinter. Gross. But doing Soul Reap with the Beast in play, then I do get to double dip on that. So I am excited for that. And putting a Banshee back in the way, where it has a nice Slay trigger there that it's going to deal damage to me. I don't think I'm going to give it the satisfaction. There, what do you think of that? I'm going to destroy my own creature. There you go. Oh, and it looks like that 4 minutes ago, the game is live now on Steam. So anybody who has yet to be playing the full version, you can buy it on Steam. I think we've got a sale that's going on for the release, so get it while it's hot. And I'm excited to have all of these new players be jumping in and playing the game. I'm going to be playing the decks that I've got through either the experience tree or the starter decks that are available. I think I'll go to the starter decks next. That's what I'm playing all today on the stream. Forgeborn ability, Circe's propaganda. Oh, because that's inspire. Give a creature +3/+3. If it's in a lane with one of your exalts, you may give a creature +3/+3. Ooh, that could be gross. I have a couple of 2-card combos going here. I like this pairing with the Infernal Ritual. It's tough because I only have one creature right now, but then being able to buff up my zombie brutes with commanding, I like that. Or I like the Glowhive Siren into Soul Reap because Glowhive Siren is a beast, and this would be dealing 5 damage to something. What is that? Ruthless Wanderers. When another one of your non-minion creatures is destroyed before combat, you may play a mindless zombie minion in its lane. Activate if you have 3 or more minions in play. Transform Ruthless Wanderers. Okay. So what is the transformed side? Ruthless Army. Stealth. When this is transformed, give your minions plus... Oh. Well, that kind of changes things. So I think I have to do Soul Reap right off the bat to make sure that my opponent doesn't get a third minion out. Because I'm guessing Ankh has a deck that is tailored to get minions out. So we're just going to do that and gain some health and figure out our next turn after. That was probably short-sighted. I could have just used my Forgeborn ability on that minion and then still go with either one of my 2 combos. Yeah. Yep. Hmm. But I can do that. And then I'd be able to chase down 2 in trades. I'd still take 5 damage. So let's go that and see what happens. Okay, going this here. 1, 2. They get plus attack and aggressive. I trigger 1 Shamble. I've got some health to spare. And then I'm going to life drain because that could become a problem. Skuro, I've just launched the game and seem to have my player XP, so I guess it does transfer over from the demo. Good reporting. Good reporting. I'm glad to hear that. Because I wasn't sure if it transferred over from the demo, but the fact that it does, that's good. So all that grinding that people were doing before, awesome. Exalt is played. Give this +4 attack. When it has 13 or more, it has 4 armor. Well, this is not a great looking hand. Especially for going first. I think that one of Dreadbolt or Terra Charger is going to be my second play because right now it doesn't give me enough value. And I mean, Dreadbolt, I can't because that's a level 2. So I think if I start with Leyline Vermin and turn off the mages for right now, then it's not going to be getting more attack when an Exalt is played, which I figured. This battle's up to 1 enemy creature. So I'm just going to put this in play, but not have it do its ability because then that would just take... it would be a fruitless trade. All right. And for those who have just joined the chat, I'm going to paste my Steam friend code in here. 103628342. And let's flag that as Jurch's Steam friend code. So anybody who has just joined the stream that sees the chat that's been going on and you want to friend me, you totally can, so we can be playing a match. And you can be playing whatever you want. I am going to be playing either the decks that I've unlocked through the campaign XP ladder, which have this is a pretty good pairing right now. Oh, whoops. I forgot to click done. Doing too many things. Or I will be using the starter decks. So whoever is challenging me, you'll that's the caliber of what you'll be going against. Oh yeah, that's right. That Forge Born ability is -3 for the first one, not +3. Why is that shiny? With one of your exalts, you may give a creature +3/+3. Now you do it. Where are you doing it? What's going on, Ak? You keep doing the same thing and then undoing it, or hmm? Okay. Yeah, I don't like the dominoes that Ankh is setting up here on this, but there's not much I can really do about it. I do like the undo feature because then, just in case something doesn't quite go right for you, or you click the wrong spot, then you can undo it and then fix it back up. But then it leaves me a little bit of downtime. So, with my turn here, I'm thinking I might do the Soothing Druid, depending on what creatures I've got left on the board. So I can choose another creature and replace it with an Oak Father minion. I think, depending on what I have left, I might try to replace this Leyline Vermin with an Oak Father, because then I'm going to lean into the Ferocious Mantis to destroy one of my creatures. Because I'll be able to use my level 3 Forgeborn ability to destroy one of my creatures to give a creature +8/+8. So then I could give that Oak Father 8/8 to make it a 16/16. Now we've got that Ruthless Wanderers back in play. And we've got 3 minions. So they will be able to change that over, I'm guessing. So it doesn't matter if I put my Soothing Druid there or not, because on the reverse side, it's got stealth. So then, that's going to be a 6 there. Got this. All right, gain myself a little bit of health. I'm not a huge fan of doing this on my own creature because I'm not improving my board state at all. I'm just kind of leaving it as I'm not gaining a third creature out of it. But the play that I think I'm going to do, I'm hoping that this will work out. Unless Madlewinter is going to be dealing 6 damage. Yep, destroy one of your minions to deal 6 damage. And if they're putting a gizmo in that lane, yep, to try to trade out there. Smart. Had I not had My ferocious mantis. Now I could either try to keep. Well, because I'm going to do that. So I could either. I'll win one of those trades. But I like getting rid of the Gizmo minion more than getting rid of the Mindless Zombie minion. So I'll take that 9 damage if I'm able to keep a very large, very angry Oakfather minion in play. And let's see. I've got options here. Onk's Forgeborn ability. Oh, they still have that Tinker. That's right. I should not be investing so much. I should not be investing so much in a minion. Okay. But I think I need to go this route for right now. And get rid of Madlowinter. And a Tinker foils my plans because it gets rid of my big creature with Breakthrough. Yeah, Stefan 2581. Woohoo, release day. Yeah, very excited for this community to be growing. Oh, there we go. Shoot. Worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. But I can have a couple of mantises out. Actually, let's get spicy. Let's make a really big mantis and survive their nanotech disruptor. So we'll see how that goes. Yep. I figured that had a chance of showing up. Deal 6 damage to an enemy creature. Yeah. Yep, that makes sense. Okay, now I have to get creative. Because I've got a 24 health lead. Hmm. I think let's just go because I don't have great options here. But if I keep a creature, if I don't keep any creatures on the board on my side, then the Madlowinter can't take full effect to destroy a minion to then deal damage to one of my creatures. So I'm just going to kind of play like that. And it's not great, but it will keep my opponent off their toes or on their toes, off their feet, but on their feet. We're all getting discombobulated here. Okay. So I'm going to take that 10 for sure. But if I do this Soothing Druid, it's going to stay alive. And I get to play an Oakfather, which is probably not long for this world. Because that level 3 Tinker can just destroy all enemy minions. All right. So I do have this friend available, which or I could go that one, which still takes that offline. I think I like that better. I'm gonna go like this. And every creature loses all printed abilities, so I will just make Madlewinter not have any abilities, so he can't activate, and that'll at least buy me some time. Oh, looks like I'm a little behind on the chat. Hi, does anybody know if know the release date for the retail version in Europe? I'm from Germany and would love to play the game too, but 15 euros seems a little too much for a game client as long as I cannot buy any additional decks for it. Germany has set 1 and 2 currently available depending on your shop. And then Stoneblade, because I looks like I've got somebody watching from the shadows. There will be digital decks for purchase here in a couple of days. Yeah. So yes, there is the ability to be purchasing digital decks in the very near future. You do get the 4 starter decks, and as you grind through the campaign, you get a total of 6 more decks added to your collection. Okay, this is the end of the deck cycle. So let us play that. And I'm hoping that Oak Father is going to give me more value than destroying it to get essentially 6 health and drain 2. So that it's 8, but keeping a body on the board, hopefully forcing my opponent into a bad trade or something. We'll see. We'll see if that's worth more than just the straight up damage. Spirit Reaver, are you choosing zombie by chance? Yes, you were. Shoot. I'd have liked to have kept that Shambler around for an extra go of it. But getting a couple of Shambling procs to keep pushing the goalpost back for the opponent is always a good idea. I don't like that my opponent has 4 creatures on the board right now. That's a rather large board state. But that 2-card combination is going to work out well for me. And I get to destroy an enemy creature. So I think oh, well, now I don't have the creature to destroy to make Infernal Ritual work. Because their lanes are just too dang full. Yeah, where are you going to put it? Where are you going to put that? Okay. Hmm. And their Forgeborn ability is play Mega Gizmo Mini, upgrade a card in your hand twice. I'm going to try to keep that Death Touch for whatever shenanigans they're going to be rocking after the fact. But if I can get rid of Madlewinter and keep my creature around, I think I'll be okay. I'm not excited about it, but I think I'll be okay. I would have loved to have been able to do the Shambler and Infernal Ritual, but that wasn't in the cards. Now, Conscript of the Deed, the Dead. Oh, I can't read it. It's a little small on my screen. Conscript the Dead. Destroy up to one of your creatures to give a creature -8/-8. Transform Ruthless Wanderers, otherwise play the army. Aha. Well, let's see what you want to do here. Just straight up isolate. Okay. Or not. But yes. Okay. Right now I'm facing 14, 24, 28, 36. Or not. All right. Okay. That was see if Ankh messaged what happened with that. Oh, Ankh had to go. All right. Efferon, thank you very much. I already played the 4 decks from the demo. Maybe it has something to do with the fact that I already played the original SolForge, but these 4 decks become boring quite fast. Maybe I can find a store to buy a deck. Any chance that anybody knows a store in Berlin to get the game? Unfortunately, the store finder official website does not seem to work here. Okay. Uh, yeah, we will see. I guess if you're checking on the Discord, there are different groups where people, more regional people, kind of get together and talk about where they play the game in person or where they find product locally. So that would be an option as well. I'd also like to ask if the release version of the game has better performance than the demo on my PC. The vent on the graphic card runs like crazy if I play on full screen. In a smaller window, the demo runs much better. I know that this game does take up a fair amount of juice, where my little fan is running like crazy, but uh, it seems to run fine. I'm playing in a window right now instead of full screen, but that's mostly so I can be juggling all of the software and machinations going on here. Okay, so I like this XP grind too. I will definitely come back to it. And yes, Efferon, there are a lot of people in Germany that play this game. I know that we have European digital weekly events that are set up, and I believe, I guess I haven't checked to see when the next one, or how many people have signed up for the next one, but there are weekly leagues that if you check on the SolForge Fusion website, there's a European one, and I run it. I'm depending on if I've got meetings or not. I'm not really able to play, but there are people in your part of the world that do play this game online. So if you get on the Discord and then start asking around, people will definitely be able to point in the right direction. Okay, so this is the deck that I was playing yesterday. So it's the same Utera, but then this Tempest gives it a little extra aggressive punch, and it's a little more dinosaur heavy, so I like that. I think I'm going to go with Oros as my Forgeborn for this, and we will see what the queue has to offer. And then maybe after this one, I'll go to some of the starter decks and play around with those a little bit. Found a match already. Schlagenfall. And I get to go first. So this already exhibits how this deck is so much more aggressive because Flamebreak Invoker, in addition to being aggressive itself, I can activate to give my other level 1 creatures aggressive this turn. It's level gated on that. But even when I don't have the Forge, I'm going to be able to bring up my creatures to attacking my opponent. So I wonder if they're going to identify the potential strength of this creature. I'm a little bummed that I had 5 creatures to start out with, just because then it puts me in a rough spot to try to do any shenanigans, but getting a couple of creatures onto the board is probably the best play anyways. I don't like that, so I'm just going to charge right into it and win that trade. Utera Charger was one of what Spaceship Driver... Oh, good play. One of the cards that Spaceship Driver thought was one of the strongest in the game because it's a creature that could work as removal. And it's a warrior. There's a ton of warrior tribal synergy in this game. So having a strong creature out that can instantly be engaging in combat and then doing some other nasty things to opponents with synergies is really, really powerful. And as the levels go up on Utera Charger, it's able to attack more and more enemies. So level 1 is just battling one enemy creature. Level 2 it can battle an enemy creature, and then if it survives, it can battle another creature, and then level 3, it can keep battling until it, as long as it survives. The time for the EU event on the website doesn't match the time of the title. Do you know which time is correct? I will then have to check to make sure that those line up. Go by the time that's in the title, or I also have it in the description, because there has been something that is a little wonky with the time zones in the time part of the event. But if you go into the event description or the title of the event, the parts where I get to type in, then I'm able to control and have it start at the right time. All right. Well, I've got a bunch of good options here. I think because if my opponent wants this patriarch to be doing some things, I'm not going to let them. So I will just turn it off with Leyline Vermin. Oh, that's going to be a lot of breakthrough. Mobility 1, breakthrough. I'm glad we're making that trade. So I could Toxic Spores on the Rex, or the Patriarch, to get rid of that. I could Fit of Rage. That would accomplish the same goal. Or I could add in the huge stout glider, which would create a lot of problems for my opponent. I think Fit of Rage is going to be my weapon of choice here, because as that scales up in further levels, it gives more and more attack to more and more creatures with more and more breakthrough. And that's what this deck wants to do, is really be aggressive and combat-y. All right. And then now that Adept would be free if I played 2 spells, but I don't have any spells. This is give up to 2 creatures 4 armor this turn. All right, so I think we're going to go Arrogant Colossus there, and then I'm going to lean into my Mantis and use my Mantis to do my Forgeborn ability to give armor to my Colossus, because that's a bit of a glass cannon right there. Oh no, a Furious Shardback! Oh no. Furious Shardback is a very scary creature. It is a fused creature, which means that it's got a modifying term Furious, and then the creature Shardback. The Shardback creature has this text that says, when this is dealt non-combat damage, deal 2 damage to all enemy creatures. Okay, that's could be annoying, but the Furious part is what makes this a problem, because Furious gives the text, activate, deal 2 damage to this to give it +2 attack. So this thing can damage itself to give it attack, and then hurt my entire board. Which means I need to account for that right now. So let's get that Mantis. I'm going to give the Mantis a little bit of armor, which is probably going to be taken away. And then I get to give 2 creatures 4 armor this turn. 4 is going right there for sure. The Mantis isn't going to survive, I don't think. But it would be nice to keep it alive through to do a little bit more damage to the Shardback during combat. And Leyline Vermin has enough health to spare right now, unless my opponent's got something really interesting cooking. To go back to kind of what some of the chat was talking about, we do right now have weekly events for, I mean, anybody can join if you want, but we have them set to a North American friendly, time zone friendly event, a European time zone friendly event, and then an Australian time zone friendly event. And just check on the SolForge Fusion website to be looking for events in order to find one that's going to work for you. You sign up and then you participate. Be careful, because some of the events might have special rules, in terms of maybe you're only allowed to use starter decks. Maybe you have to play one of your half decks as Alloyin, stuff like that. So you just kind of read the episode or the event description. Zoe Misery, hey, welcome to the chat. You are just in time to see what the Furious Shardback has to offer in terms of wiping out my board. And I almost have an answer for it. I almost have an answer for it. But that 2-card combo I've been seeing a lot lately with players that have been playing a lot of set 2 and really like the Shardback because the Ice Lance Magus has an activate ability, deal 1 damage to a creature. It could be the opponent's creature because then it has this slay ability, deal 2 damage to the enemy player, so when it destroys an enemy creature. But if you deal that 1 damage to the Shardback, then the Shardback triggers, which is gross. So both of those two are gone for right now, or they've been tapped out. I don't like what shenanigans that could further be doing. So let's Toxic Spores. So my Leyline Vermin can get a little bit extra. And then... I think the Magus is probably going to cause me more trouble. Because that Shardback can only be activated one more time, depending on what my opponent's Forgeborn ability is. Oh. Nope. Shapeshift, give a creature +3/+3. It has all creature types. Anything to give the Shardback more health is not going to be good for me. So let's nip that one in the bud right there. All right. And depending on what they put out, I might be able to do Disintegrate to get rid of this really strong War Tusk. Or I could put out the Soothing Druid to get 2 more bodies on the board. Twin Strength, that's a good one. So now Disintegrate doesn't do what I need it to do. Which means... I could do that and give it... Yeah, I think I need to go that route. Shardplate Delver. And then give it 4 armor in order to win that trade. I don't feel great about that, but I'm okay. Stout Glider, good. And then I've got either the Stampeding Mongosaur or the Leyline Vermin after that. We're going to go over there. Okay. Okay, let's see what you're cooking up. Because I could... I think that means that I do have to go the Leyline Vermin now because I don't want them to... If they have another Furious Shardback, then it would get +4/+4 coming into play. Nobody wants that. Oh, I could just have the Mongosaur. Yeah, let's do that instead. Mongosaur there. Deal 5 damage to one of my creatures to deal 5 damage to an enemy creature. Bingo bango. Now, if they do still in fact have a Furious Shardback, when it activates, it'll still take out 3 out of my creatures. But I like that better than having those two trade and the Leyline Vermin kind of come into play just to shut off. Yeah. Okay. Go in there instead. And then you're going to give it the shapeshift in order to take out. Oh, no. Okay. All right. But now that Thundersaur is going to start to get mighty angry. Unless I can Utera Charger it out, which I think I'm going to do. Do that, and then maybe I can Feral Instinct to give something breakthrough, or Flame Break Invoker, but all my other creatures are up in the front anyways. So I'm guessing they're going to have the Furious Shard back at this point, because it's not in here. It's a 50-50 chance that they have it in this particular hand. Yeah. Which then I just have to make peace with and potentially punish them with the Rhymehorn Charger. Because that says, if another creature lost health this turn, give your other creatures +2 attack. So anything that lives is going to be getting extra attack for me. But this sequencing is very important on... Oh, so that can deal 2 damage. I don't like either one of those, so I am going to use the beauty of the level 2 Terra Charger. Battle an enemy creature. I'm going to battle the Thundersaur. Take that out. And then I survived, so I get to battle another creature, so I'm just going to battle the Ice Lance Magus. I'll take the 3 to the face because I was able to take out 2 of their creatures. So in my book, I did quite well with that trade. And hopefully that foils their plans that they were going to be trying to set up on their own. And then I still have those 2 options potentially to do a nice little counter punch. This War Tusk is strong and it's going to be a bother, but I am going to just kind of ignore it and let it do its 6 damage. Because if I'm able to do 16 back, I think that is going to be worth it for me. Oh, well, that 9. 9's getting to be a lot, but let's see. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I am just going to do the Rhymehorn Charger instead because creature lost, so then all of my creatures are going to get extra attack. And then that is 20 damage out of the 22 I need to do. Now, I don't think this deck has any direct damage, which I'm very worried about. Cycle 3, their Forgeborn ability is give one of your creatures 7 health and give a creature adjacent to it 7 health. And I get to give my creatures +4 health. I get 4 health. So let us start with Sharpplate Delver right there. Going to replace, and it gets +5/+5. Now, I know the level 2 Furious Shardback, when it activates and damages itself, is dealing... I guess I don't know. I thought it was 3 damage to each enemy creature. And because I've got 2 that have 3 damage there, I am going to give all of my creatures a little bit extra health so they stay out of reach of what the Furious Shardback could do. So, hopefully... Oh, Botanic. That's a good call. And then gaining a little bit of health. Now, I might want to save this one. No, let's just see if I can end it here. Because I like the fact that that Utera Charger could just be destroying a whole bunch of stuff. But if I can win it here, let's see if I can do that. Because they need to plug 4 lanes. Oh, and they kind of fell on their sword there. Yeah, this aggressive pair can cause some problems for people. And I do. I'm excited to see what anybody else is opening with those early access, not early access, with those XP ladder decks because I've got some pretty good ones there. I am going to, let's see, change to one of the starter decks. So this one is with the Alloyin starter and the Nekrium starter. And I am going to run that one for a little bit to show that these starter decks are definitely worthwhile. And we'll see if anybody shows up in the queue to be able to play against me for that. CML 100. My game earlier was from my XP unlocks. I don't have anything else yet except those in the start. Well, those ones that you were playing were really strong. That was good stuff. And I think that there is a lot of value to be had from from what you were playing there. Oh, I get to play my friend Carly. Okay. Let's see. I don't have a mage. Ugh, having these 4 spells right away is not good. So let's Venerable Drake to foil their plans already. And then I think I'm leaning into the Metamind Overseer. But I do like Energy Surge is really, really strong later on. So I might go that way and then just upgrade Metamind Overseer. I think that's where I'm going to go. I'll lose a little bit of board state depending on what Carly's doing here. So we'll just have to see. Oh my, that is a big Frankenbaum. I still like going the Energy Surge route to get a Gizmo, and then I'll upgrade the Metamind Overseer. Because at level 2, it's got a chance of playing a Mega Gizmo instead of just a Gizmo minion. So we'll trade there, but the good doctor is putting my body parts to use, putting that Drake's body parts to use, right in that same lane. All right. And now, ooh, this I think early returns on the 4 starter decks is that the Alloyin one is probably the strongest because you've got suppressing here, destroy up to 1 enemy creature with 3 attack or less, and then so much replacement. So I think I'm gonna go suppressing and get rid of that mindless zombie minion that was essentially mine anyways because Frankenbaum used my creature's body parts in order to make that zombie. And now I might then go War Machine on top of this Gizmo to make a really big War Machine. Oh no, a Shambler. Uh-oh. Okay. I could just Dreadbolt that, but I like the idea of putting a really big problem in their way and having them deal with it. So putting pressure on like that, I know that any deck that's leaning into Shambler or Shambling wants creatures out there to continually die, but unless you know exactly how you're going to use your resources every turn, then it could end up causing you problems down the line that you'll just run out of creatures to fill your board. So I don't like that Shambler lived through that. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, the Walker can take care of the Shambler, and then I can sacrifice the Prophet for Infernal Ritual. A little surprised the Prophet didn't see that one coming. All right. Arrogant Walker. Give an enemy creature -2/-2. Get rid of that Shambler. You can rage all you want from the banish pile. And then I like the idea of sacrificing that profit for Infernal Ritual. Get a couple of mindless zombie minions out. This is a real, like, smushy, zombie-filled bloodbath going on that we're both just playing zombies like crazy. And we're going to see what she comes up with here. This the Indomitable Fiend in the right deck is a really strong card because when it's destroyed, if you have the Forge reanimate this to this lane, you can be sacrificing this. And a lot of what Nekrium wants to do is sacrificing its own creatures, as you've seen in kind of previous matches today, and you're going to see right now because I'm going to play Infernal Ritual to sacrifice one of my creatures in order to play some zombies. And I know Carly fairly well. She'd appreciate how aggressive this play is because I'm open laning to let their Thunder Titan, Ator, do damage right to my face, and I can do a whole bunch coming right back. But that Indomitable Fiend, because she's got the Forge, that thing comes back. But now I have the Forge, an Indomitable Fiend. So many options. Ugh, and I've got Energy Surge right now too. Okay, my Forgeborn ability. Play Gizmo Minion, upgrade a level 1 card in your hand. I'm actually good with those right there. Destroy one of your creatures to give one of your creatures +5/+5. So that would work perfectly if she had the Forge when she's going to be using it, which, you know, she might set up to actually do. Okay, I'm doing way too much talking and not enough playing. Let's... But I like Energy Surge too. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Because that's not going to do me a whole lot of... No. We're going to do this. And I'm not going to play Indomitable Fiend. I'm not even going to upgrade it. I'm going to upgrade Scipion there. And then on my next turn, I'm going to Infernal Ritual here. And then play Zombie Brutes. Oh no! No! My sacrificial lamb! No! Okay. Well, touche. I will still do Infernal Ritual. Put a Brute here. And I like putting a Brute on top of that. I like doing that. So we're just going to put all our zombies there. Line them up in a nice, neat row. And I'm going to make her deal with it. That Flame Sculptor's Seal could potentially, well, that's only 3 damage. So if she's playing a mage there to block this lane, can do 3 damage to the Mega Gizmo. And then trade out 2 lanes, still taking some damage. We'll see what she's going with. I know Carly to be a very aggressive, spell-slingy player, so there's plenty of tricks up her sleeve, and I'm just going to try to put as much pressure as I can with these decks. Lean into the minions and just see where it kind of takes me. Can move an Exalt. Either Cloud Rift or... Nope, not going to do it. But minimizing the damage, maximizing the trades. All right. Yeah, and these two here are some of the starter decks. the Alloyin starter and the Nekrium starter, all of them offer a really good flavor of what the faction wants to do, or a lot of what the faction wants to do. There's so many possible combinations of cards, and then with that, the half decks, in order to be able to have any sort of play style with any sort of combination. But I like to try to figure out what the deck itself wants to do, and then is that going to match up with my play style? Oh, and it's going to take out my Mega. Shoot, good play. Good play. Well, I think I am going to try to set up for the future and go the Combat Spectre into Spirit Leash on that, actually. Let's change that, because I'm going to use my Forgeborn ability to play a Gizmo. Upgrade a level 1 card. I'm going to upgrade Spirit Leash. And then play Combat Spectre. So I did inadvertently just reveal my whole play to my opponent, because they got to see what I hit the undo button for. But having that Spirit Leash up to level 2 gets to give a creature -6/-6, and then one of your spirits +3/+3. So I'm going to give my Combat Spectre the +3/+3, and then ideally give the -6/-6 here in order to clear that lane. Clayton Clay Davis, nice. I just noticed there are some decks to claim in game now too, which is sweet. Yeah, that you've got an opportunity of, I believe it's 6 total that you get to claim, 6 or 7. So there's one of each of the 4 factions, and then there's a few mystery decks that are at random, so that everybody, you really get a good start to your collection. And when it comes to like organized player or playing competitively, is those starters do just fine. You're missing out on a lot of combo heavy play styles, but they're a great way to get people introduced into the game. Oh, an Infernal Ritual there. I guess it's hunting season. So let's Spirit Leash there and give my spirit a little extra there. And then Carly's going to take some damage, but also defend where she could. Now I get to go first. I'm going to lean into the warrior synergy here to give a creature +6 attack. If it was a warrior, which it was, it gets 6 armor. That's just to kind of safeguard against what my opponent could be doing. I'm not too certain what's in her deck. I could probably look, but I don't know if that's great for the live stream to bog down with me pouring through somebody else's deck. I like to just play. So now we're going to see what she's got cooking here. Oh, well, no amount of armor can protect you from a Dreadbolt. And I've got a few options here. I would have liked for her to have played a creature so then I could get that, some extra value. That one's useless. So I think by default, the Metamind Overseer is the way to go. And we'll see what the last return is. All right. Oh, Shambler that will win that trade. And then, oh, this is going to be a fun combo to see. Okay. So, combat wins that trade there. Oh, so the creature doesn't die. Oh, because Cloud Rift says when one of your creatures in this lane damages the enemy player, transform this. And then Sky Conduit says when one of your creatures in this lane damages the enemy player, deal that much damage to an enemy creature. That is a fun combo. But Carly's got to get it off in order to make this viable. So I've got Infernal Ritual here, which might end up being the straw that breaks the camel's back. Play Mega Gizmo Minion. So I'm going to put Combat Techno Hulk here. And then it'll be some combination of using the Forgeborn ability to get a Mega Gizmo Minion, and then play Infernal Ritual, which at level 3 says destroy one of your creatures to play up to 3 Zombie Brute Minions. Give your zombies +4 and +4 attack, and this turn they get aggressive. So with her having only 3 life left... Oh, but she does get to cover almost all the lanes, and... See, this is a good combination. I like this, because... Put it in one of those two. Because the Indomitable Fiend comes back, Shambler triggers, which then will flip Cloud Rift into the Sky Conduit. Yeah. So this, I'll talk to her about this after, and I can see exactly where this deck wants to go, and that's super strong. If I didn't have her, pinned into a corner with having only 5 health there. Yeah, you can do that, but I have the card that will take care of this. So Infernal Ritual, I get to play 3 zombie brutes and give them aggressive. Now combat happens first, and she's going to go down to 0 before all of the triggers of the Shambling that would give her health back. But because combat happens first, you check to see if anybody's down to 0. Then you resolve the post-combat triggers. That's a... I could see the things that deck wants to do. Not beforehand. I didn't have that foresight, but when she was building those dominoes in sequence, that could be a really fun one. I'll have to reach out to her if I can remember how to spell her. QH. Yep. Okay, but that is, I like the thought in how she crafted those together, and I'm sure I don't often like to attribute a result to card draw, or that there is that randomness that comes into it, but the fact that it looked like she was getting the pieces in the wrong order to be able to set things up, that she didn't get a Shambler until much later, or didn't get Ator in order to get that Exalt out earlier, then that kind of seemed like it messed up her plan. But that could definitely cause problems for people going forward, and probably for me. So let's see. I did the third. Let's see. Where is my first fuse deck? That's the one that everybody kind of fuses right away. So let's just see how that one looks. And we'll take that into an online battle, waiting for a worthy opponent. And we got one. Okay. I guess Tempest is wild here. 5 Tempest creatures right off the bat. We're going to see how that starts out. Lightning Tamer. I wonder. Let's go Fleet Colossus here. It's got mobility 1, so depending on what their next play is, I'm going to move it into whichever lane can destroy the enemy creature and still survive. unless they somehow pump it too much where I would have to make a trade. But I like trying to survive. Oh, Infernal Ritual right off the bat. Okay, I like this one. Depends on where they put it. Okay. Well, I'm going to move that over. And I am going to do the Fire Fist Duranti here and there because the level 3 Fire Fist Duranti could be a game ender. And after this combat resolves, I will show you what I mean. Fire Fist Duranti has an activate, deal 1 damage to a creature or player. At level 2, it's deal 2 damage to a creature or player. And at level 3, it's deal damage equal to its attack to a creature or player. So if I am pumping up the attack of the level 3 Fire Fist Duranti, that could just wipe my opponent out. And that is a Yeti Mage for the Recipient Augmentation. So what we are going to do is we are going to start with Energy Surge. Upgrading War Machine. Because I want to keep Everflame Aura at that level 1 if possible, because it's free if the creature has decreased health. But I might just use it right there on my little glass cannon, my Fleet Colossus. Which isn't... Oh, no! They saw through my strategy. Shoot. Ugh. No, that was well played. Well, now let's try to pile on some damage. And do I want to save that Everflame Aura? I think I do. I think I'm going to save the level 1 version and try to have that combo. Oh, no. My precious board. Oh. Okay. Well, now let's lean into Alloyin. That suppressing profit can, if I put that in the center lane, that's going to be a 2-for-1 trade, which I'm a fan of. And then I could disintegrate if they're just trying to block off my warrior. Or potentially do a Metamind Overseer to really fill up my lanes. And then keep the pressure on for the turnover or the start of the second deck cycle. I think that's where I want to go next. Oh, well, don't mind if I do. Nope, that's not where I wanted that to go. Undo. Suppressing I'm going to put right there. And then that Spell Knight I want to get rid of because that gets attack. If the player plays a spell and then you activate the Spell Knight, it gets attack. So I know how strong that can be, so I'm not going to let it happen. But now we're going to Metamind Overseer there and Gizmo there. And trade. We'll win a combat and then keep a replacement candidate open. Ooh. A lot of value right away for these. So the Metamind Overseer, I think I'll start out with that. There. Because the Venerable Assassin, I like that stealth. Because that gets a turn at free damage coming through. I also like getting Thundersoar active into this battle because that's a really big body that can cause a lot of problems if there's not hard removal. Lightning Spark is one of my favorite spells because it's just dealing 5 damage to something. Oh, good call. And then Everflame Aura. Whew. Might want to save that, and you overplayed your hand a bit because now I don't want to do the Thundersoar. Unless I use my Forgeborn ability to put a gizmo there, and then upgrade Thundersoar. Then have it replace the Mega Gizmo to give it +6/+6, and now it can't be targeted by Dreadbolt. That is the one frustrating part of the undo button is you still kind of reveal your play. And you know, I mean, then it forces you as a player to have to think through your play, or you end up giving out a little information. And I guess I put that opponent in a rough spot. All right, we're a little over halfway through this stream. No, I like this first Fuse deck. So we are going to play and then do an online battle there and just see who else comes up next, waiting for a worthy opponent. The 7 to 9 stream tonight, Central Time. I think I might run through the campaign. We'll see, but I bet by that time there's going to be a lot more players that will be online, so there'll be many more people to play against for that 2-hour window. I don't mind waiting here because then I get to have a little bit of trail mix. And water. Tombkin. I like the mage synergy that I see here. Lightning Tamer, and then either Tipping Augmentation or Conflagrate. But either way, we are going to start out with the Lightning Tamer. Ooh, a Mantis right off the bat. Death Touch, Life Drain, and Soul Siphon. I'm going to have to watch out for that. So I could wipe their board with Conflagrate. Yeah, that's... But they're pretty weak creatures. No, I think Conflagrate is going to be a better late game play, I think. Because that can be dealing damage to the enemy player as well. And I like the idea of having that at my disposal late game if I've got a whole bunch of mages out. So I can take the 3 damage there. That's totally fine. Because then I can be getting these other mages out as well. Combat Spell Knight. And hopefully my opponent damages one of my creatures so I can get this Everflame Aura for free, which then would allow me to activate my Spell Knight to give that attack, and then I would play my Voltaic Prophet, activate that to give that armor. So hopefully my opponent, and there's no way for them to know that this is a trap, but I'm trying to set a trap for them. Krogius! Oh, no! Okay. Well, that's no good. So now this match is on a timer. Because level 3 Krogius is very hard to overcome. And if you were here for last night's stream, I played more than most, and I was down a very large amount of health, but I was able to get out a level 3 Krogius and get it up to 70 attack all in one turn, and then be able to win by, I think, 2 health. It was really cool. So if you check out last night's stream, I think it was like 13 hours ago, actually about 14 now. Check that out. And that it was definitely a match for the ages, but it shows the absolute power that Krogius can have. So they're leading off with a Shambling Shambler. Not a fan of that. So what we have to do is we must get rid of that right away. And I am okay with taking the 2 triggers of Shambling. But now that they've revealed that card, that lets me know that Krogius and a Shambling Shambler is... I've got one target that I can get rid of, which is the Shambling Shambler, so I'll have to get rid of that as much as possible. Shamblers are definitely a pain. And then also trying to work with or work around Krogius, because that will... Let's see, that's going to trade. Because, so work around the Shambling Shambler, so they're not draining me, and then also work around or try to finish the match before Krogius gets the final say. I don't like that I'm losing all these mages. I don't like that I'm losing all these mages. Shamblers are definitely a pain, but if you know how to work through them, if you transform them instead of destroy them, then you're doing okay. And they get to Death Touch, okay. And I like that. So I think I have to go this route. Gizmo, upgrade a level 1 card in my hand. I'm going to upgrade... Nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to do exactly what I did last time. And then I want to upgrade Thundersoar. So then I can play Thundersoar. Give it 2/2. Then I will ping and do 1 damage there to just be nice and annoying. Level 2 Krogius, there you go. And I'll go Energy Surge and upgrade the Metamind Overseer because I want the chance at getting a Mega Gizmo minion out, possibly with the level 3 Thundersoar, in order to put it in the way of the level 3 Krogius, and just hope that I've won the numbers game before that. But having this huge Thundersoar across from a creature that has no attack is really a bummer, because then my Thundersoar is not getting pumped up. But I've got options here. Ooh, Zimus. Haven't seen Zimus in a while. Let's start here. Take that out. And we can Suppressing Profit. I do like that idea. So I'll bump it up a little bit. And then destroy an enemy creature with 3 attack or less. I'm going to do Zimus here, and oh, Zimus gets to come back. But I think I'm going to conflagrate and be able to take out Zimus. Yeah. Oh, just wiping all the creatures off the board. Well, great. I'd still be able to conflagrate to get rid of Zimus. Or I can Voltaic Profit, and I like that one a lot better. Because the spell was played, I get to activate to give it 5 armor, so it's not going to feel anything from Zimus. Still be able to take it out, and now I've got a mage on the board for next cycle. Or next turn. Not the next full cycle yet. Hmm. Really wish I had a spell here. But no luck. I will probably be able to fill out my board. And I'll have 3 mages out because I think I'm going to do the Combat Spell Knight with my last play. Combat Mantis, what is this one doing? That's dealing 6 damage, I believe. Yep. Yeah, that's why I needed a spell, is to protect that one. Combat Spell Knight will just take its place. But because I didn't play a spell, as spell didn't play yet at all, then that kind of fizzles out. And Relentless Wanderers to fill up the board. Oh, gross. And that Shambling Shambler right there. That's right, they get to deal 6 damage and gain 6 health. I get to play a Mega Gizmo, which I'm going to have to save. So I will just use my Suppressing Profit to get rid of the Shambling Shambler, and there are 2 triggers there. There aren't a whole lot of answers that I have to Shambling Shambler in this deck, so I just kind of have to deal with it that way, and we see where we go from there. Megan X Bitfall. Is there a way to buy only digital decks? I live in Brazil and it's possible to find physical decks here. There will be. They are working on being able to buy digital only decks. That is coming soon. And I don't know exactly what the timeline is looking like for that, but I do know that if you play in this Saturday's event on April 20th, you will be given 4 half decks for free in order to make your best deck for this sealed tournament. And if you go at least 3-2, you get to keep those decks. So there's a really nice little incentive to show up and play in the event, and all you have to do is go above 500, and you get to win your decks. Let's see, do I want to use Everflame? I don't think that's quite working out the way that I want it to. But let's play a little aggro and see if we can catch up. So Everflame Aura, there, it gets attack, and it gets to ready. So then I'll activate it again to give it more attack. And I don't mind taking that 6 damage because I need to be making up a lot more than that. Energy Surge. I don't have a spell. I can be doing a lot of Mega Gizmo minions as kind of a last ditch effort. But what if I Energy Surge there and then upgrade the Fire Fist there? Lightning Tamer gets boosted. Pumping up the Spell Knight, and I'm just hoping that they don't get Krogius 3 in order to just kind of put the kibosh on me trying to win this match. Hmm. And I gotta save that Mega Gizmo just in case the level 3 Krogius comes out. And I need to put the biggest body in play that I can. Good timing on that Stitcher to a Shambling Shambler. And they're going to lose a whole bunch, so they're going to just drain a whole bunch of life. And I'll let them resolve those triggers. I like my board state. Uh-oh, did I freeze? Looks like I froze. Oh no. Yep. Looks like I froze. Okay, that's add. Yep. All right. Okay, so they did that. And I can conflagrate, deal damage here, deal damage here, and deal damage but not kill there. All right, so now we should be back back on track. Yep, and we'll see if they got. Oh, they didn't. But my unused forge powers that will be unused no longer. Mega Gizmo here. And Thundersoar in the way there. And I don't like some of the trades that we make. But that ossuary mech now can bring in. Oh. Yep. Bring in the Shambling Shambler. My Forgeborn is when you play a spell this turn, deal 8 damage to a creature or player. Destroy one of your creatures to give one of your creatures plus 12 plus 12. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to do this. Gathering Storm. So then I will go Energy Surge to play creature. I get to upgrade a card in my hand and play it for free. I'm going to upgrade Force Field and play it for free. That is going to go right there. So the reason why I'm doing this is to be able to deal 16 damage to an enemy creature and get rid of that Shambling Shambler immediately. I wish I had a better second spell to play than just giving my Gizmo armor, but here we are. And that should be the best that I can really do at that point, and we'll just kind of see. Because if at any point they get Krogius, then it's over anyways. I can't do enough to combat that. But we'll see how long we can hold on and what kind of opposition we can put forth. Because that will take profit. I can replace the Mega and go nice and big. Cutthroat, what are you gonna take out? We got three good options right there. Oof. Scuba Toad, another question about Saturday's event. It says, when will the seal decks be loaded under? I have the library of the deck codes, and on Saturday, when you check in for the event, you message me on Discord, and then I will message you your 4 half decks, and then you can claim them for the event. So it will be able to be a fast process, because for me it's just copy paste a whole bunch of times. But I will be able to get those to you, and I don't want to get them to people ahead of time, because then it ruins the sealedness of it if you get to play around with your deck or anything like that. But on Saturday morning, I will start connecting with people, or people can reach out to me on Discord. When you check in for the event, then I will give you your 4 deck codes, and then you'll be able to go from there and figure out which fuse you want to use, and then be ready for the event when it starts. Okay, so I've got plenty of options here. Suppressing is going to be nice. Suppressing is going to be mandatory. Let's go that. And get rid of that. And then I might be able to conflagrate here, because I've got 2 mages. Oh, and then you'll just throw another one. So conflagrate at this level is going to do 4 plus 2 for each mage I haven't played, up to 4. So it's going to deal 8 damage. Right. Well, that's the one that I have to go. 8 damage. 8 damage. It says up to 4, so when in Rome, hit your own Thunder Swords for 8 damage. And then I get to activate that Voltaic Prophet. Voltaic Prophet? Yeah. In order to only take 2 breakthrough and deal 27. But Lightning Spark, I think, was my last direct damage option. And I just saw that. Oh, it wasn't! Fire Fist Durante. There, deal 4 damage. And then let's see what my opponent can do. And then I've got to answer a couple of questions here. but I gotta see what they're good. If they have Krogius, I mean, you probably have to play it. But with this Everflame Aura, this actually brings up a good point. Uh, I don't know if you're being awarded XP for player-to-player combat, but I know that that is a feature that will be happening. So you'll be getting a certain amount of XP for winning a match, certain amount of XP for losing a match. If you end up dropping a match like this here, you don't get any XP for it. So I encourage people to just play out their matches. Now to getting back to these questions. Scuba Toad, nice. I like it. Did you confirm that they aren't sharing their decks in the client? Uh, is or is there any way to validate that they're using a sealed deck or something else in their collection? So all of these sealed decks are going to have the name changed. So it will be Alloyin sealed deck, or like Alloyin sealed event deck or whatever. And it'll be numbered. So if they're using anything other than those decks, we'll be able to know, and then those people will just be kicked out of the event. All of these decks are going to be from set 1. So if you're seeing a deck that is set 2 or set 3, you know it's not supposed to be in this collection. And I will be able to verify if it, I won't be able to jump into matches immediately, but if anybody has any questions on the validity of their opponent's decks, they can reach out to me and then I can investigate. And at the end of the event, if they didn't use those decks, we'll be able to see. So there is a series of other measures in place, and I'm not revealing all of them because on the off chance that somebody is trying to scam the system for a free event for a handful of free decks, that I'm not going to give them an opportunity to get a heads up. I honestly don't think it's going to be much of a problem. If anybody registers for this event ahead of time and submits their deck, I can just reach out to them and say, hey, this is a sealed event. You can't be bringing in any decks. And I'll be able to communicate that with people. So also then a good question or comment was brought up. You might want to have a copy paste ready explaining how to use those sealed deck codes too. Yeah, you can redeem your codes in the app. So I believe collection, add decks, and then oops, no, that's just the physical one. Let's see. I'll have to remember where that, because that button got moved, but I will have a copy paste or explaining how people can redeem these decks in order to be able to use them for the event. And then how does checking in for that work? Do we need to do anything to connect our SolForge profile on the website to our Discord account first? If you created a SolForge Fusion account in order to play the digital client, it's that exact same account on SolForgeFusion.com. Exact same account, exact same login, all that stuff. So the decks that you are given, you will be able to instantly, like they're on both accounts as soon as you redeem it. When you're checking in for the event, you'll go to the event page and then there's just like a little tab that says check in. And then that it goes from red to green to show that you're checked in. And then you reach out to me on Discord. If you look in the event description, you'll be able to see how to reach out to me. And then just say, hey, checking in for the Saturday sealed event. Then I will send you your deck codes. And then you'll be able to redeem them and get a little bit of time to figure out which Fuse deck you want to use for the event. Yeah, so then, yeah, Scuba Toad, I also want to make sure that everything's on the up and up. And as much as people in general are good, decent human beings, there is always the opportunity for somebody to try to take advantage of a system. And grand scheme of things, there's not a whole lot at stake right now, but we do have systems in place to make sure that everybody is just very simply following the rules. And, oh, I didn't know this deck wasn't allowed. I lost track of. No, all of these names are going to be explicitly changed to Alloyin sealed event, like number 1 or number 15 or number 18, whatever, because we're going to have over 100 sealed decks or sealed boosters to give out to people. That there's 30 some people that were signed up originally, not originally, but as of last time I checked, which I think was yesterday or the day before, I'm expecting there to be a lot more, and that's a good thing. So let's see. Skuro, is there a redeem code button under cosmetics? Oh, there is a redeem code under cosmetics. Right. That's where it got moved to. Yep. Good catch. Seems like an odd place if it is. So the reason why it got put under cosmetics is because a lot of the other things you'll be able to redeem are cosmetic rewards. So then you just paste the enter code. You just paste it in there and submit. So there will be a lot of cosmetic rewards, alternate art things in X, Y, and Z. So we just put it down there. CML 100 has increased by at least once since then. Nice! I love to see that. Yeah, because as we go along, as you see on the left side here, there are so many other things that you could be earning. Medals, different forge, we've got banners and things like that. In fact, if you backed this on Kickstarter back last November, you're going to be getting kind of a little, some sort of artwork. I don't remember exactly what it is, because that was before I actually worked for Stoneblade, but signaling that you backed this on Kickstarter to help make this a reality. So these will start to come online in the very near future once we're getting everything up and rolling. Also the online store as well, to be buying digital decks as well. So all things that will be coming out that are accentuating the game, but not necessarily a core component to get this plane off the ground, if you will. Okay, let's see. So we've played through the first Fuse deck. I used some of the other starter decks. Let's try then. It was no, it wasn't Utera. It was Tempest and Nekrium. Let's see what those reward decks, what type of result that is going to be. I'm not a huge fan of how these two in particular looked like they were going to play together, because this Cersei, it looked like it was Beast synergy, and with the Shambler trying to get multiple creatures on the board to die, and Sunder is more spell slinging and super aggressive. So I don't think that these two in particular are going to pair well, but let's try it. And I don't think I have enough spells or free spells at all to make Gathering Storm work. Ugh. Okay. XP grind 3. Good luck. And we'll see what that one looks like. As always, if people are having questions about the event or they're not sure how things are going to work, please reach out to me. My background, like I've said, is in education. I love the process of learning and discovery, and I enjoy answering questions. So there's no question that is too stupid or you've probably answered this before, because so many people are going to be new to this game starting today that I want to be answering these questions. I want everybody to feel welcomed and knowledgeable and understanding of what's going on, how they can get involved, how they can get engaged. If they've got questions about rules or mechanics or things like that, I want this to be an inclusive, fun release. That this is meant to be different than other games. Where other games, you play the game, you might interact with somebody, you might not. But this one, I want it to be a community. So I want people to feel connected and engaged and plugged in. And this Cesare, is it French? We are going to see what I can do here. Stout War Stoker is a decent body. It's not going to do much. The Stout Glider I do like. Oh, Venerable Creeper now is useless because they could just destroy their Indomitable Fiend. So we're going to Stout Glider here. Get that pumped up. And then I might... Stout War Stoker may be my only other option because Fit of Rage isn't going to do much good with my creature here in the back row. Giving a breakthrough is not going to do anything. Okay, here's an interesting option now because they put Feral Instinct on their Indomitable Fiend. So if it does damage to me, then they get to play a Wisp minion. Now, if I put this Venerable Creeper, they can either take 5 damage or destroy their Fiend. Let's see what they choose. Because if they destroy their Fiend, then it loses the effect of the Infernal... Not Infernal Ritual. Now I'm losing... Of the Feral Instinct. But then they don't take 5 damage. And that looks like that was the route that they went. But it comes right back. It's just that they lost out on the abilities from the Feral Instinct. Okay. Well, as... Yep, let's just do it right now. Get it out of the way. And then I've got 3 options here. If they end up damaging one of my creatures, I'm going to do Rhymehorn Charger to give everybody plus attack. If they don't, I'm going to do, I think, the Gloom Reaper Hag. Well, that's no good. Because now they can block all my lanes. What's that at level 2? It's only plus 3 attack. Arrogant Demon is going to be really, really big to deal with. So let's go that. Let's go that and see how they are choosing to respond. Croakius! Oh no! Well, they're going to have a clean board. But, once again, in a match with the Krogius, there is a timer on it now. And I am quite certain I don't have the tools to deal with it in this deck. So I'm going to need to get out to a lead and try to put a lot of pressure. I believe I'm going to start with the Shambler and then go the Flamebreak Invoker after to then have those 2 creatures run up and join the fray. I may have to do the Mongosaur if they put something in play that is going to be particularly troublesome. And right now, the Dreadmaw isn't. I'm not too worried about that. But now do I even want to... Because that it would be a net of... I would gain 4, the opponent would lose 1, so that's netting 5, which is the same value of this creature here. But I like the idea of board presence, and I'm going to see where that goes, because if they put a creature in play that the Zithian Dreadmaw is just going to... Ugh, gross! Just going to eat... Oh, that hurts. That one hurts a little bit. But Soul Reap is really powerful, and I hope that I keep my beasts around long enough that I get to do it. But Flame Break Invoker, I want to see how well that one can do, because now It wins that trade against the Dreadmaw. Dreadmaw has stealth, but aggressive. Comes right up to the face, meets it head on, and then I punish my opponent for it a little bit. Okay. Give your creatures +3 health. You gain 3 health. I think we're going to go this route. And I will, because I don't like how that's going. CML 100. I have noticed that the game will often reorder my hand immediately after drawing, which leads me to playing the wrong card. Is there any way to disable that? I couldn't see it in the options. I don't know. I don't know what goes into the thinking of it, like reordering cards. So maybe it's just all of the data like compiling, and then I don't know if it sorts it alphabetically. It looks like it does. So I'm not sure what can be done about that, because it looks like they give you the 5 cards and then they get sorted alphabetically. I like the opportunity to be able to change the order of my cards. That was one of the things I like doing in Tabletop Simulator, is the cards that I'm more likely to play, I can put to one side, so then I don't have to keep remembering what am I looking to do, what cards are useless to me this time. I don't know what type of hurdles we'd have to jump over in order to get that figured out. I don't think it's that much of a priority for the team, but it would be a nice little touch to be able to have the cards not just automatically get reordered alphabetically. And level 2 Krogius, which means third is in the discard pile right now. So if I can be getting a lot of health advantage, then I might be able to last a turn or so against a level 3 Krogius, or potentially even win. I could just do that. Okay, with this hand here, I like doing Soul Reap because I'm going to be able to damage something. I've got a Beast in play currently, so then I'll be able to damage the opposing player and gain health twice, which I like. I also like the idea of the Stout Glider because at level 3 it's got 18 health, and it only starts with 1 attack, but it could get 10 if it's unopposed. Otherwise, I might just be throwing that against the level 3 Krogius because I have to be preparing for that. Level 3 Krogius is what my focus is on right now. Relentless Wanderers. Okay. And I think so I know I'm going to Soul Reap there. And then it's going to deal 3 to my opponent. And I gain 3 for each one of those transactions. I still have my Forgeborn ability left, Life Drain, which I might do on their Relentless Wanderers in order to keep that Shambler lane open to deal a little bit more direct damage. Give your creatures +3 health. You get +3 health. Well, that's probably going to make that a moot point. So I should have used that ability before that. That's okay. We're still learning. And if they don't use their Forgeborn ability, good call. I think I'm going to do that there so we trade right away, and I don't have to wait for it. And I'll come back with the super strong glider next time. Or it'll be in the front of the lane next turn. And we get a couple of procs on the Shamblers. Doing the best that I can to stay so far out of reach of my opponent that I can take a hit or two of Krogius. That's my main goal at this point. I want to save that. So let's Infernal Ritual. That beast was great for me, but if I can use it to gain a little bit of health and get an extra creature on the board, I think I'm going to go that route. And get the level 2 ready to go, because level 2 is playing Brutes and giving attack. And then whatever creature they put out, I'm going to just Dreadbolt it, unless it happens to be more advantageous for me to get rid of Krogius level 2, but I can't imagine that being the case. Oh, Leyline Vermin. Yep, turn off that Shambler. But I'll still take you out there. And then you'll have to maybe use something that'll destroy my Shambler or block one of my big gliders, possibly. But I know from enough experience that that's a good reversal. Any Krogius deck is not out of it until they are at 0 health. Krogius deck is not out of it till they're at 0 health. And if you don't believe me, you can watch back last night's live stream and see an example of that. All right, Shapeshift, give a creature 6/6, and it has all creature types. That could be painful. And I get Soul Siphon, destroy one of your creatures to give one of your creatures +8/+8. I like that. I also like what this commanding could be, buffing up my 2 zombies. And then the Creeper. I think I might have to lead off with the Creeper to put them in a bad position. Or to... Spring Dryad. That's a fun one. When another one of your creatures comes into play, you gain 1 health. Well, let's see what they have to say about this. Are they going to cut their health in half, or are they going to destroy their Krogian? Yep, that's a good idea. And then we'll see if they can get a couple of creatures into play. I think I've got them. That Spring Dryad is going to be nice and large, but... Oh, well, there we go. There's Krogius. So, what I can do is I'm going to Soul Siphon. So, that little spider that came into play, in order to give a creature there. So then that is going to be enough to take out this opponent, because I had to have so much extra health that I could survive this Krogius swing. Because there's nothing in this deck that could take it out. So, yep, that 22 more health that I would have had to take out while taking swings of 30. That was a good game. Aggressiveness of this one. And I think it's been long enough that I haven't talked about my code, Steam friend code. If anybody wants to challenge me, all we have to do is become friends on Steam. So my Steam friend code is 103-628-342. Again, that's 103-628-342. If you see me on the Stoneblade Discord, I just have that right after my name. So then people know that's your Steam friend code. You can shoot me a friend request, and then you can challenge me to matches on here. All right, let's jump into this one again. And the 2 o'clock hour is sponsored by Oranges. So I'm going to. I know that it's probably a little poor form on most Twitch streams to be eating as you're playing, but this is over the lunch period for most people, including myself. So we are going to cosplay as somebody eating lunch. So let's see if I have tonight, Wednesday morning, Thursday night, and then Friday twice. That's 5 more streams, and I think I have 3 or 4 more decks to open. So then by the Friday night stream, you will see the true power of what grinding 1 million XP can get you. So everybody in the chat, especially a shout out to the new players or the newer players. What faction have you been playing the most or been having the most fun with? I want to know what people are enjoying, and then that'll probably lead me to what one I'm going to play next. Pickle's Word or Pickle Sword. Nyx Nakia. Zombie Brute. Oh, what do we got next? 2 Zombie Brutes. Oh, I love this loadout. This set of Forgeborn abilities is probably my favorite for this Nyx. Okay. All Tempest and no spells. He just crushed me twice. Yeah, Krogus. Brutal card. Brutal card. So I think if we go like this, and then I possibly go the Arrogant Colossus in an open lane, activate to do. Oh, no, Pickle Sword. Oh, okay, cool. Looking forward to this match then. Ouch. A lot of damage right off the bat. Hmm. 9, 10, 11, 12. This one wants, especially with the Nekrium half. What? Is it give your other creatures? Yep, it is your other creatures. I do want to keep something around. Let's go like that. Because I'll at least win that trade. CML 100, playing the most Nekrium, enjoying the most. Got fun Tempest and Utera half decks with some Dino synergy that I've been running through campaign. Big numbers are big. Yes, dinosaurs are so much fun. Okay, now there we go. I'm not going to destroy you yet, my little ram, because we've got a party for you to attend. Well, it's more of a ritual than a party, but you get the idea. It's going to be fun. Ugh, I have to take that 5 damage because I need that ram to survive. So then it can be put to a glorious purpose. And deal a little there and start to get those zombie synergy working. The zombie and the shambling synergy. So I get a couple of procs there. Here we go. But that Banshee then comes back and eliminates any health gain that I had. So what was a 4 health swing in my favor just turns into 1. Hmm. Stormcaller, the enemy player may choose to take 3 damage. If they don't, you may play a spell for free. I always take the damage. Always take the damage. Because you wouldn't be playing the Stormcaller unless you were probably doing a spell slinging deck. In which case, then you definitely want to be playing some spells. So, I have no problem taking that little hit if it's preventing them from getting free card play. Because free card play is very, very important in this game. You're limited to being able to play 2, but then if you're able to finagle more than 2, that's where it really becomes your advantage. Yep, that flame jet. Oof. Okay, well, I can't do anything with that in head-to-head combat that wouldn't hurt me more. So leveling up Dreadbolt and taking that out and then just taking 3 more damage, I'm okay with. Not great, because all of my tricks have not been going according to plan. And they get a zombie brute now, while I get to deal 4 damage to a creature and gain 4 health. Let's get rid of that spider, because every other turn I can't answer it. I mean, I've got plenty of aggressive, but I can't reliably answer it. All right. Now I need to keep my advantage. So I think having to do that just to keep a creature off the board. And then my biggest body will go there. So yep, I'm not punishing the opponent for trades in this one. Ugh. That's frustrating. Hmm. I'm running low on health. So let's do that there. And either my Shambler is going to survive, or it was. I can deal with that. Yeah, so I get a little bit of residual on that, but not enough. Yeah. Oh, but now I need something to sacrifice. All right. Let's see. Oh, I have to take the 6 to the face. Then, because that's not even a beast, I can't do all that I want to do with that. An Infernal Ritual isn't going to give me the advantage that I'm looking for. I think I need to go like this, because if Indomitable Fiend stays alive, they're going to have the Forge next time, and that's going to really be a problem. So I'll right now win that trade. Never mind. I'll take 5 damage. Hmm. Yeah, no, I'll take 7 damage. Play 2 zombie brutes, you say? Well, I probably should have tried to level up Firestorm. I know that when I got it, I'm pretty sure that was when I had a full or had creatures and my opponent did not. So I think that there was not much I could have done with that. Um, Now my Forgeborn ability doesn't do me any good because I need 2 creatures on the field. That's part of the difficulty with this Tempest and Nekrium. And let's see. So the most I could do 11, 26, 32 showing. So I need to block half of it. Not going to happen. So let's just light up the field. That's the end of that. Yeah, these two, I don't think they work well together because I need to keep creatures on the field. I need to keep creatures on the field for both of them, but neither one provides enough juice to get the creatures there on their own. The Utera half is able to do that. Utera is really good at getting creatures on the board and kind of spamming them like that, where either one of the other two needs those creatures so it can do what it wants to do. Utera, at least maybe my experience with Utera, it's a very good support that is also a strong lead faction. So we'll jump back into the first one and see if we can have any more luck with that. As we are rounding the last 45 minutes of this stream, and then I'll be back on. Let's see, in 4 hours. In 4 hours, so 45 minutes left in this stream. Then I'll be back on in 4 hours to do the local evening stream. Suppressing drone, okay. Oh, D-Mind. I know them. Well, I can't let that necromancer stay. A necrotic necromancer. The best description of a necromancer, like the D&D character that I ever heard, was they are a medic with poor timing. And I just love that. Love that image in my mind. Just a medic with poor timing. Okay, so I'll take the 3, but I don't let that Apocamancer do what it wants to do. And I know how valuable the Utera Charger is, so let's continue to level that up, and I can take out the opposing creature there. Now I've got a couple options between the Colossus, the Raptor, and Leyline Vermin. And I'm going to go Leyline Vermin because I'm guessing that my opponent will want to be playing minions in order to buff up that Steel Eye Researcher, but I'm not going to let him. I'm going to blank the text of that card for this combat, for this turn. Because they had Nano Swarm to get 2 other minions out. Oh, yep, that could have gotten out of hand real quick with that Steel Eye Researcher. But Leyline Vermin is such a good card to have on hand. And if I learn anything from last match, I'm probably going to have to play Firestorm to level it up. Or no, because I don't have any aggressive. I don't have any other ways of dealing with that. So let's go like this and just take your medicine. Level that up because 7 damage to all creatures. 7 damage is going to take out almost every level 1 and most level 2. Oh, great. Most, but not all. So Glowhive to gain 4, or I think the Druid, because I want to have extra in play, extra bodies in play for other things that I can do. So just got to keep putting one thing in the way of that Hydra. Forgeborn abilities. Let's see what they've got going on. Repurpose. Oh, okay. And I have Bark Skin. Well, gross. So let's go like this. I'm going to replace the Leyline Vermin with an Oak Father. No, why am I doing it there? Why am I doing it there? I caught my silly mistake. I caught my silly mistake. And I'll replace there. Then we're going to go like this because I don't know what they're doing. And I want to keep those alive for the opportunity to do Firestorm and hopefully take out whatever other creature they're putting in play. What are you choosing? Beast hurt you as well. So I could either, with the Mantis, block, or I can Firestorm. Hmm. Nah, let's lean into the madness. Let's go there. Because now I have a break glass in case of emergency. Pretty sure fireboard clear, pun intended. So we'll see if that level 3 can come back to my benefit. Oh, interesting idea putting that Grimgaunt Predator over there. So then it comes forward with stealth. But I do have options to deal with it. I've got Utera Charger. Leyline Vermin just turns it off. Oh, Drix is nice. Well, let's go Utera Charger. And this level 2, it gets to battle. If it survives, it gets to battle again. So then I'll have it battle again over there. And depending on what my opponent's going to do, I'm likely going to just put the Leyline Vermin here. But those aren't in alphabetical order. Uh, my ADHD brain. So I'm probably going to put Leyline Vermin here to turn off the printed abilities, the text of the Grimgaunt Predator. Oh, good move. So then I win that trade, and they don't get to destroy one of my level 1 or 2 creatures. Going back to what I think it was CML 100 that said was about the cards reordering. Is I thought they were alphabetical, but they're clearly not. There's no rhyme or reason. Hmm. I could go the 2 spell route and then get the Adept on board for free. I think I'm going to do that. One, two. And then if they put out a creature, then this plan worked. If they don't put out a creature, the plan doesn't work. Because I can't disintegrate. Ah, good call to Cutthroat there. But then I'm going to disintegrate. Could be by Forgeborn, non-Forgeborn, then alphabetical looking at it. That would I'm sure there is some sort of reasoning behind how it is ordered. I just don't see what the pattern is. Necrotic Necromancer. Yeah, I'm just gonna peace out, but my body's still rocking. I just can't. Don't have any sense of thinking or anything. T-Mine, play a Mega Gizmo minion. Well, I'll tell you this, with my Terra Charger, if that Mega Gizmo goes out and isn't replaced right away, then I'm going to Terra Charger it. Hmm. Otherwise, this is a bit of a conundrum. Yeah, I definitely cannot let that Mega Gizmo survive. Because if the Mega Gizmo survives, it's going to make something that will be way too big for me to counter. All right, and I've got 9 showing. I could Fit of Rage to make something larger with Breakthrough. So we'll see wherever they put something in front of. And what's my Forgeborn ability? Give my creatures +4 health and I gain 4 health. Okay. That'll help me possibly survive a trade. Oh, gonna have to get rid of that. Well, as they're figuring out how they want to use their necromancer. Whew. Okay. The charger simply kills my whole deck. Yeah, charger's so good. It is so good. So I have to do this. And even if I use my Forgeborn ability, the same creatures are still going to die, so it's not going to do anything. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Ghostly Flow. I've only played a few games on SolForge ever, but I do like how mana resource is not required, so I don't have to get flooded or screwed when it comes to that. Yes, that is one of the things that the developers of this game, which Richard Garfield and Justin Gary, that they wanted something where you had the creativity and autonomy and didn't have to worry about getting or being governed by resources. So I think that that was a very good design decision for this game. Is you're only limited by the fact you can only play 2 cards, and then there's that opportunity cost of what are you going to play, what are you not going to play, and how do you maximize the 2 cards that you get. The Ghoulish Stitcher. Ooh. All right. Now they are choosing another level 1 creature in their banished pile to replace one of their minions with the chosen creature. Let's see what they do. Ghostly Flow. Also don't have build decks. I just have to find some good halves and smash together. Yeah. Or you just smash together what you've got. Everything I've been playing today has either been the starter decks or the decks that I've claimed for free on for the XP ladder. So there's definitely you've got the opportunity to be doing interesting, fun, strong combinations. Let's see, how do I want to work this? Uh, I will just try to keep this alive as much as possible. Yeah, that there's not the net decking or having to spend a whole bunch of money to buy something that's competitive. There's a lot of fun, crazy, interesting combinations, and sure, there is the law of averages that or the probability of if you are buying more product, you're more likely to get something that is higher end, but it's not guaranteed. And I think that's part of the charm of this is you could just have one booster that you open or just play the free stuff that's given and still have a lot of success in this game. I think that that is a really cool opportunity in SolForge Fusion. I like that. So uh, there isn't the same level of also like theory crafting in terms of you have 100,000 card options and how do I make this into a 40, 50, 100 card deck, whatever, is you figure out what you want to play, what half, you learn what that wants to do well, and then you kind of find a good partner for it, and then you go from there. And okay, so let's see. I want to turn this one off, and then I am going to disintegrate your Apocamancer because I don't want that replacement synergy going on. Yeah, well, thank you. I love the level 3 Leyline Vermin because it's an activate ability and not a deploy. So as long as that stays alive, I can turn off any creature that's in play. And I like that opportunity to be able to do that. When my opponent wants to be setting up 2 card combos or things like that, and I like to try to turn that off. Okay. I don't have anything that directly counters that. But I can set up. Oof. I can set up a couple of dominoes for next turn. So the Soothing Druid can go here. The health gain isn't the point, but being able to put out that Oak Father to win that trade against the Geist, I like. And then we'll do all. How shameful I didn't do a single damage. Oh no! That one's not gonna matter to what I'm trying to do. Well, let's put this and X cycle 4. Darkforge Drain on that Oak Father to give something really big with Breakthrough. And Breakthrough and turn off the Apocamancer once again. Yeah, sorry about this. These two are pretty good together. They're pretty good together. All right. Yeah, good game. Good game. I think the things that deck wanted to do well caused fits for your deck because I was able to turn off your combo pieces with my Leyline Vermin and then just kind of fill up the lanes that you were trying to open lane, and then, vice versa, open lane when you weren't able to quite go wide enough for me. Okay. If no one has won after the last cycle, does... Yes. After the fourth deck cycle, if neither player has been reduced to 0, whoever has more health wins. If you're tied after the fourth deck cycle, you play sudden death fifth deck cycle. So at any point, if one player changes health, whoever has more health at that instant wins the match. And let's see, I haven't done that one a little bit. Need the combo piece. Yes. Yeah, I did notice that your deck has the Alloyin fun combo pieces, which is why I had to dedicate all of my resources to turning them off or destroying them before you could get them going. Because that... So you're saying I need to play life gain? Not necessarily. That there needs to be a so what with life gain. Because if you're just gaining a bunch of health but you're not doing any damage to your opponent, they can probably chase you down. Ooh. Cryptic pseudonym. Well, aren't all pseudonyms cryptic? Lightning Tamer, always a good start. Always a good start, Lightning Tamer. Hmm. So I'm going to lean into the Infernal Ritual card there. So I need at least one of these two to survive. And then I'll probably sacrifice my Druid in order to get a couple of aggressive zombies out. Hmm. Ouch. 6 damage right away would be a little too much to take. But I do need bodies. Yeah, let's have fun with this. I do need bodies on the board, so let's just get them. Hmm. No, I'll save it. Save it for combat. Hmm. This may be my last match before I get to go take a break. Probably not look at a screen for a few hours, and then I'll be back at 7 o'clock Central. So that would be, let's see, that would be 4 hours. So this stream's going to go to the top of the hour, and then in 4 hours I'll be back on. Oh, I forgot to hit end. Silly Jurch. Forgot to hit end. The Scorchmane Dragon. Here, and battle the eggs. And then I'll trade there. I'll win that trade there. I'll be taking 6, but doing close to that back, and then with the Shambling, I'll be in pretty good position for right now. The goal, especially with this Nekrium half, is to be setting up dominoes to be destroyed with getting the benefit from the Shambler. Oh, interesting decision that they. I guess that makes sense because they couldn't have taken out the Shambler there. Yeah, but I'll put those bodies to use. All right, let's see if we can lean into the Venerable Creeper to make them make a unfavorable choice. What type of scientist is that? Or tactician? Ardent. Okay. Then depending on what body I need to throw in the way of the spell sprite. Yeah, we'll have to see how this is looking here. Ooh. Researching Scavenger. When you upgrade a card, give this +2/+2. Okay. That's going to be a problem. So let us Toxic Spores and give that -3 to then, if they're going to be playing something that upgrades a card to make this stronger, which would be a good idea to then win that trade, I'm going to play the Creeper, so either they have to take damage or they have to get rid of one of their creatures that they've been working so hard to build up. Oh no! The energy prisoned. Well, that Shambler's only worth, or main worth, is sticking around. Sticking around to feed off of all of the things. Did they still get to upgrade a card and discard it? Hmm? I think they were supposed to be able to upgrade a card there. They might want to submit a bug report for that. Unless I missed something and they did upgrade a card, but then that should have grown. Hmm. Well, after the first deck cycle, it's 43-33. We're both trucking along to the end. Hmm. I get to deal 4 damage. Give one of your creatures 4 armor. This turn, you may have it battle its opposing creature. Okay. Um, let's start out with the Commanding Geist. Give my zombies 1/1. And I think I'm going to lean into this one next, depending on what they do. So I want the freedom to figure out what option they're going to go with. And then that Soothing Druid I can most likely use to replace one of my creatures. Or I could use it to replace one of theirs if they put out something that's just insanely difficult to deal with. Oh, redact! No! They just redacted my Shambler. Well done. But a bit frustrating. So if I'm feeling frustrated, I just need to be soothed a little bit. And I feel like that soothing druid is going to get the job done. So they're there. Here's an oak father. You're doing okay. All right, so let's see what they can cook up here. All right. Might want to try to block one of those two lanes. I don't know if they've got something that can be upgrading to help the scavenger. Or just straight up replace it if they've got some replacement synergy they can do. And if they're able to get something up to 8 attack. Oh. Okay. Saving that Forgeborn ability for something that's going to be a little bit stronger to take down that Oak Father. I like the answers that this Utera has. This is a very utility Utera. Because Utera Charger can be damaging multiple things, clearing lanes, having a Mantis. Then I can pair a pair this with a really exceptional Forgeborn. Leyline Vermin caused a lot of problems, especially for T-Mine, my last opponent. So and then having a Druid, which can be soft removal at level 2, because it doesn't have to be one of my creatures that's being removed. It can be my opponent's creature. So I like that. If there's something that's big like this that I'd need to get rid of. So then I am just going to Toxic Spores there to give me 6 and then -6. And then win that trade. Ah, they're going to go back and win that trade. So now the question is, because what is my level 2 Forgeborn ability? Oh. I think I have to do that. So then I will activate to use my level 2 Forgeborn ability there. So at the very least, those two things trade. That should, yep, still keeps 1 armor. So at the very least, those two trade. All right. So I'll do the Shambler over here. I'm spacing out wide just in case my opponent has like a Turnabout or Ice Storm or something like that. Normally, when I'm in competitive play, I like to look at my opponent's deck list when that's available. But for something like this, when you're just kind of jumping into matches and I want to be more engaging than anything else, I just kind of let it ride. Because I'm not too concerned about winning these matches. Like my goal here is to be playing people and having a good time. All right. How far can that Scorchmane move? 2? So it can get to the middle. My Dreadbolt is not strong enough to take it down. Gloom Reaper Gloom Reaper Hag is, well, so I've got one target I get to use that on, right there. And then let's see what they want to do with this creeper, because that can then put you in a bad spot, either taking 6 damage or destroying the one creature you have on the board. Then they'll take the 6, so they'll need to defend at least one of those 2 lanes. And then we'll see what they're going to do. And then with only 14 minutes left before I'll have to get going and take care of all my things in order to come back, I'll see if I can just either find somebody quick or then play through the campaign a little bit. Ooh. Everflame Phoenix. It's at the end of the cycle, so that's going to turn into level 3. Oh, that's going to be troublesome. I don't know if they have enough health to come back from this, because unless they can replace or remove the Shambler without actually destroying it, then I would take the 2 damage. So, or I would drain them for 2, and then win the match. We'll see what they're up to. But they've got 2 huge flying creatures. Everflame Phoenix only has mobility 2, you say? Okay. Oh, I guess I can just Soul Siphon. Soul Siphon, I'll destroy my spider, and then that damage will finish them off. Because I don't think... Yeah, they can build things up, but unless they can replace this Shambler, because that doesn't count as destroying. If this gets, or if a creature of mine gets destroyed, then it deals 2 damage to the enemy player and I gain 2 health. So I'm just going to do that. And we'll take that to the end. As another good game, I was able to keep my Shamblers alive for long enough that I was getting good return on that investment. My opponent wasn't able to do a whole lot of direct damage to me. So, are there any questions for me for right now from the community about organized play in particular, about Saturday's event, about how to get involved in other events, any of that type of stuff? I'm big on community, so I really want people to feel like that they have a place to connect to and kind of a point of contact in the community. Let's see. XP grind 1. Now let's see if I can figure out this third one a little bit more. I'll do one more online battle, because I think that'll take me to the end of my time. And let's plug my What's Your Advice? Excellent question, Ghostly Flow. Can't make this event, but how do I sign up for future ones? All you have to do is go to SolForgeFusion.com and look up events. So there are in-person events, there are online events, and then you just see if the time makes sense for you. Any events that are put on by Stoneblade, I'd say 99% of them are put on by me. So in the event title, I put the time that the event starts and the time zone, because we have players from all over the world, and the software that we run our organized play through, it has been a little bit glitchy for, if you look at just the event time, what that says to different players around the world. So we have put in stop gaps to say put the starting time in the event title and in the event description. So it's in multiple places. So you know what time it is. And please participate in ones that aren't even in your time zone. I know that there is a pretty strong Australian scene, and my friend loves to play in those Australian events too. So shout out to Carly for waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning to play in one of the Australian events. So it's great ways to be connecting across the entire world. The large events that I like to do are once a month, and I try to make them on like the last Saturday of the month, so then people can rely on that timing for it. And then I also do it early in the morning for the United States time zones. So then if it is like Australia, early morning, I think is late evening for them, and it's afternoon for most of Europe. Okay, do I dreadbolt or disintegrate? Dreadbolt. Ike's Ninjas. Also a somebody from my neck of the woods. Runescarred Pit. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to play any fun cards. Because I needed. Well, I don't need to just disintegrate that. Okay. Then we're gonna Stout Glider over there. It's unopposed, so it gets a lot of attack to that. Root Meal, you say, upgrading a little bit. And then I don't mind trading there in order to get Shambling Trigger. And what type of a fleet? Just a car. I like that color scheme. So again, we have weekly events that are on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, I believe. I don't remember exactly what day the Australian was one is anymore, but it's typically Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and different time zones. What it's going to work for you. Typically, we do them in evenings in the local time zone, so then I can be running them. I can at least run the European ones and then the North American ones. Last week, the North American had 8 participants, so it'd be really cool to see if we can keep that momentum going, if not making it larger. And as we go along, we can be doing different price support and things like that for these events. Oh, those are going to trade. So why not make it worth it? Hmm. Actually, because I don't have it now. No, let's go like this and force them into a bad spot. And if at any point anybody has any questions related to events, organized play, all that good stuff, just reach out to me either on Discord or op@stoneblade.com. And I love to answer questions and help people out. Let's get that infernal ritual going and make 3 trades instead of one. That shows the importance of needing to have that shambler out. Is then I would have gotten a lot of residual benefit from all of that. We're going first on that. Will it be on mobile ever? 117, James M 117. Will it be on mobile ever? That's the plan. The Kickstarter, the Kickstarter last fall mentioned that the rough timeline was that it would end up on Android towards the end of 2024, and then iOS at the beginning of 2025. So there's a lot of other hurdles to have to overcome in order to get something on mobile platforms. So uh, they're taking their time and making sure that it's going to be able to work just fine on PC. And then as the year goes along, and I'm sure if this game takes off on a much accelerated rate, then if there's the extra resources available, I'm sure that then things would start to move at a faster pace. Okay, so I've got my options. Let's go here. Similar to other plans for Steam Deck compatibility. That that would be a question for some of the engineers. So I can bring it to them. I actually will write that down now. I'm guessing that there are similar hoops, technologically speaking, to have to jump through to make it available on Steam Deck. I mean, the fact that it's on Steam is a good start, but those are things that are beyond my area of expertise. But I would assume we want this game to be out to wherever we can to get it into everybody's hands, so then people can be playing it all around the world at any point in time. And I'll go that there. I will not destroy my only other creature, but I will turn that into a trade. Yeah, I'm not sure what extra technology would have to happen in order for it to be Steam Deck compatible instead of just being on Steam and PC. Well, don't mind if I do there. Yeah, that trade makes sense. More than most, I haven't tried this myself as I don't have one, but I heard on the Discord that it works. Oh, hey, more than most, fancy meeting you here. Wait, is the commanding geist at level? Oh, that's a five. Yeah,